Man, I am so happy that I took the time for myself last night to watch the show, and as soon as the Royal Rumble went off the air on the WWE Network, I went immediately to sleep. What a fucking marathon of a 2019 Royal Rumble. I'm still, at this hour in the morning, I woke up specifically to do this for you guys early because I knew that I had to. I went to go lay down. I barely slept because I was thinking about everything that had happened during the show, what I was going to say when I sat down here to do the podcast, trying to go over what made sense, what didn't make sense, why they did this, why they did that. I'm still honestly feeling the effects of what was a 7-hour fucking Royal Rumble. 7 hours. You know, when I was growing up, and everybody that watched the WWE in the 80s and on into the 90s, this wasn't an issue. Especially with the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was usually, it was usually so easy to book. You got one Rumble match, you got 30 guys coming out every 2 minutes, and the undercard was championship matches, tag team title match, Intercontinental Championship match, WWF Championship match, and then one random match thrown about that was the conclusion of a feud. 4 matches on the undercard, then you got over an hour of the Royal Rumble, and everything is nicely packaged into one 3-hour show. But here we are, and it looked like on paper, from 7 to maybe 11:15, this show would have been in the books. But I'm watching the pre-show at 5, and we get 2 matches that were advertised on the pre-show. WWE gives us another match that wasn't advertised. The actual Royal Rumble show starts at 7 p.m., and this thing goes to nearly 12 o'clock. 5 hours of a legitimate pay-per-view from 7 to 12. I can't even imagine how the people in Phoenix at Chase Field were feeling after that show. This show, if there was one huge thing staring right in the face of everybody talking about the Royal Rumble, it's the fact that it was too long. It was too fucking long. And I commend everybody that came on here and tried to do A, a podcast, B, a review, go live on YouTube, any video-related shit that you did concerning the Royal Rumble, man. You got my praise. Because I know me and a few others tapped out at 12 o'clock and figured, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it to cover the show after it was over because we were all physically and just mentally exhausted to a point where we didn't want to talk anything professional wrestling. 7 hours of wrestling in one given evening. I think it would drive anybody, even the most crazed fan, insane. Ridiculous. WWE really, and I mean this wholeheartedly, they need to sit down, and they need to just sit down and realize that quantity is not better than quality. The more that we get is not going to result in a better product. I just don't understand WWE's logic with this. It's every single year. These events are getting longer and longer. Come WrestleMania, it's going to be the same fucking thing. There's no reason for the Royal Rumble. Even with 2 Rumble, I don't remember it being as long last year. I remember last year I actually did a review after the show was over. I don't remember it being as long last year, but there's no excuse for the Royal Rumble to be fucking 7 hours long. I'm sorry. The overall consensus of the show, man, I'm glad that I took time to let everything digest. Because if I came on here last night, I would have been angry. I would have been a little bit more volatile. I'm not telling you that I'm not going to be angry and volatile, but it's not going to be as angry and volatile as I was last night. Shit really pissed me off. Certain aspects of this company and the way that they think and the way that they care about certain things just really irked the shit out of me. Some booking decision last night Some booking decisions, I should say. Not a booking decision. Booking decisions last night really pissed me the fuck off. And I'm glad that I actually sat down, let everything sink in. I gave it a little bit more thought. And I'm trying to understand what they did and what they didn't do last night. And it's a little bit more easier this morning. It's a little bit more easier to look back and say, all right, it wasn't as bad. Whereas I was watching it last night and I was ready to jump down somebody's throat. Was it a thumbs up show? I polled you guys on Twitter. Almost 4,300 votes in about 6-7 hours. You guys gave it a thumbs up show. 63% thumbs up. And I would say it was a thumbs up show based on the fact that we've been complaining WWE doesn't listen to the fans. WWE listened to the fans last night. A lot of the outcomes last night made sense. Some of them, the way that they went about getting to those decisions didn't make sense. But for the majority of the show, the outcomes of these matches made sense. And we can now start piecing how WWE is going to be putting WrestleMania together. Or at least I'm going to try and bring some of that to the table today. But all in all, it was a thumbs up show. But man, I'm going to tell you right now, the WWE, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, they really need to get back on making the Royal Rumble special. There's too much of this just joking around in the Royal Rumble. And I'll dive into what I mean when we talk about the specific Rumble matches, the females and the men's. All these, oh, I'm not eliminated, let me do some acrobatic move to try and get back into the ring. Shit that don't make sense. WWE really giving time this year to more NXT stars instead of bringing in legends. Those NXT stars should have had much more time to shine in the Royal Rumble given this opportunity. Some people that I think that they brought up to the main roster really didn't shine as much as I would hoped. Nia Jax entering the men's Royal Rumble. Man, we're going to go over all of it today. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Rumble Podcast, man. 2019 Royal Rumble Review. I am JD. If you guys want to follow me on social media, man, please do so. At JD from NY206 on Twitter. Same thing as Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot more lately. Posting clips of the show. Just fucking around on Instagram. Same thing. JD from NY206 on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitch. JD from New York. Usually do 2 to 3, maybe. I think I'm giving myself a little bit too much credit there. 1 to 2 times a week, if that, on Twitch. I'd like to stream a little bit more, but it gets kind of boring after a while. But I'm on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on there, JD from New York. Patreon.com/JD from NY206, man. If you guys want to support the podcast and show your appreciation for what I do here, completely optional, up to you guys. And it's there for you if you want to take advantage of that. Patreon.com/JD from NY206, man. Thank you guys so much for all your support. We're going to get right into it, man. The pre-show. The pre-show of the Royal Rumble. And man, they made some good announcements on this pre-show. Had a decent U.S. Championship match, but Jesus fucking Christ, man. Some of the things that they did on this pre-show, I'm completely going to go off on. Tag teams, right? JBL being there, I can't stand the sight of him. But the pre-show itself started off with promos from Absolution, Samoa Joe, Alexa Bliss, Daniel Bryan, Nikki Cross. Oh, who wants to play with Nikki? Who wants to play with Nikki? Another one who I wish would have had a better Rumble feature, and she did not. So we've seen various promos spread throughout the pre-show. JBL was there. The side of him just fucking irks the shit out of me. But he really wasn't that annoying like we remember him when he was sitting in on the SmackDown Live commentary table. My goodness, was that a god-awful period. We did get Morrow, but we also had JBL to listen to, and that's when he blocked me on social media. I didn't at him. I didn't really say anything negatively towards him. I just said his commentary is not good. Benched. So fuck JBL. Booker T on the panel compares Finn Balor to Royce Gracie. Okay, I'm tired of the small big man comparisons. Let the guy go in there and do what he has to do. You know, David versus Goliath. Oh, look at this. Finn Balor. Look at the small stature of Finn Balor against the mythical beast is Brock Lesnar. We get it. We get it. WWE just continue to hit the horse over and over and over and over again with the same shit. All right, I'm excited to see it. We don't need the comparisons of David versus Goliath anymore than we already got on Monday Night Raw. Lio Rush comes out. He trolls JBL for losing to Bobby Lashley. Who cares? Lashley was terrible then. He's terrible now. Shawn Michaels had some great insight on the panel when he sat in on the pre-show. I really like this. And Shawn Michaels was, man, I loved it. Shawn Michaels came out wearing an NXT hat, and he came out wearing an NXT UK t-shirt with a blazer over it, man. You don't think that guy's proud of NXT? Oh, he's damn proud of what he's doing in NXT, man. It's like his little child. He's got that Triple H mentality. Unbelievable. I love it. Shawn Michaels said that he was in Rumbles, several Rumbles, and he was in Rumble matches where he had wrestled most of the people in them, and he didn't have to battle many surprises while he was in these Rumble matches because he knew what to expect, and he knew a lot of these guys in the ring that he was with. He knew their weaknesses and he knew their strengths. I really like that. I really like that take from someone who's been in it and has won a Royal Rumble. Like, I've been in the ring one-on-one or in some form or fashion with these guys. I know their weaknesses. I know what to do with them. And I'm going to apply that in just a grander fashion here at the Royal Rumble. I really like that take by Shawn Michaels. And I love the fact, like I mentioned, he was wearing the NXT hat and the t-shirt, NXT UK t-shirt, man. He's a very, very proud grandpa down at Full Sail. He also did announce, and I did not see this after NXT TakeOver. If you guys want to go watch my NXT TakeOver Phoenix review, it is live on the channel right now. 20,000 views plus, almost 2,000 likes. Go and check it out. Great, great TakeOver show. This was reported on the pre-show. It was Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano to close TakeOver Phoenix. And they were holding the championships that they respectfully own at the end of the show. Ciampa beat Black in the main event to retain the NXT title. Johnny Gargano beat Ricochet for the North American Championship. They were there on the stage. Out comes the Velveteen Dream, who was not on TakeOver. So he got up from wherever he was sitting. He was featured during the main event. He got up, he went to the stage, he started picking a fight with both Gargano and Ciampa. A match we seen at War Games between he and Ciampa. Velveteen Dream made mention on the Go Home show for NXT right before Phoenix that he wants the North American Championship. And he mentioned this specifically by name, but then Ricochet was the champion, and now Johnny is the champion. So then out comes Adam Cole. Resounding ovation. And I mentioned in my review, felt like NXT TakeOver was missing a certain something. We know what it was missing. It was missing Adam Cole, and it was missing the Velveteen Dream. And the fact that those two were not on TakeOver Phoenix says a lot about the roster of NXT and how deep it really is. But the fact that those two were not on the show, it clearly and obviously made the show a little bit less than what we're usually expecting to see from NXT TakeOver. That's how great both of those guys are. But it's also at the same time great to give others chances to shine, like a Matt Riddle versus a Cassius Ohno. Me, I wouldn't have put that on TakeOver. I would have made that a blow-off at Full Sail on a random NXT TV taping. But I honestly think with Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream off the card, it really gave that entire show a sense of, man, it's missing something. It really is. So Black was in the ring when he had just lost to Ciampa. He comes limping up the stage. He starts confronting everybody on the stage. Out comes Ricochet. So we got all the heels and Cole, I guess Gargano, if you want to label him one, being that he's trying to associate now with Ciampa and Ciampa himself, in a huge shoving battle that proceeds to bleed into gorilla position, with Triple H is trying to break everything up. So we got Cole, Ciampa, and Gargano. And they're facing off against Black, Velveteen Dream, and Ricochet in what is now halftime heat, returning next Sunday during halftime of the Super Bowl. Now, normally the Super Bowl halftime shows are absolutely fucking god-awful. So the fact that this is happening during halftime of the Super Bowl, I'm fucking excited, man. We legitimately have something to watch. I can't wait. Now, I'm going to be in Orlando on Tuesday. I'm going to be at the NXT tapings on Wednesday. I was hoping that this was going to take place then. It actually might be taped then when I'm there. And we'll see it for the first time during the halftime of the Super Bowl. I can only hope. That's a monster match. Now, a lot of people were speculating that the shoving match at the end of Takeover was going to kind of be a huge main event for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn WrestleMania weekend. I was hoping it wasn't. The fact that we're getting halftime heat, not only is that great exposure for NXT, it's going to be all over WWE social media. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be on WWE's YouTube channel. Everywhere during halftime of the Super Bowl. Huge exposure for NXT, man. I love it, and I can't wait to see what those 6 guys do in the allotted 35, 40 minutes that we get during halftime of the biggest football game of the year. Should be really fun, and I can only hope that when I'm down at the tapings in Orlando on Wednesday that I actually get to see this match filmed before we get to it on Sunday during the Super Bowl. Drake Maverick. You know, the manager of AOPP. I'm glad that they're out. I'm honestly glad that they're out. Not because I don't like them, but Akam unfortunately suffered an injury. And I like that they're out because this is WWE's chance with this renewed focus, which I doubt we see on WWE TV for tag team wrestling. Akam is out with injury. This is WWE's opportunity to hit the reset button on AOP, possibly bring back Paul Ellering, and give this team a dominating feel like we seen when they were in NXT. Drake Maverick announced for the first time officially on WWE TV where the AOP was. Akam is injured. Akam is hurt. So, the Revival lost a tag team title match to Roode and Gable on Monday Night Raw. Again, right? We had Kurt Hawkins as a special guest referee. You guys know this if you watch the Go Home show of Monday Night Raw. They picked a fight with Kurt Hawkins. Out comes Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins look to be, aligning themselves with one another in this renewed focus, quote-unquote, for tag team wrestling. But in an announcement that not only was bizarre and left everybody scratching our heads, it was an announcement that didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. So Scott Dawson is going to team with the healthy member of AOP in Razor, for whatever reason, in a non-title match on the pre-show against Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Now, the logic behind this, or what Drake Maverick stated on the pre-show, was that if Scott Dawson and Razor win this match, then both the Revival and AOP would get respective title shots for their teams somewhere down the line in the future. So I got 2 questions here. Actually, 3 questions. Scott Dawson is teaming with Razor. Where's Dash Wilder? Is he injured? Did Dash Wilder not want to be on the Royal Rumble? Pre-show? Whatever you want to call it. Did he not want to be there in Phoenix to team with Scott Dawson? Razor, if he ended up winning this match with Scott Dawson, Razor is going to be without Akam for 3+ months. So you mean to tell me that we, the fans, are going to give a shit to care 3 months from now about the AOP getting a title match on a pre-show that was probably watched by nobody? Nobody gave a shit about this pre-show. My third question is why? Why wasn't this advertised, and why was this just put on the pre-show for absolutely no reason? It was one of those moves that was pretty much made as a game time decision. Oh, let's get these guys on the show because whatever. I truly don't understand this. This is not focused on presenting a revisioning, I would say, of the tag team division. This was fucking ridiculous. This was absolutely ridiculous. Scott Dawson walked down the aisle as if he didn't even fucking care. This match went 6 minutes, 7 minutes tops, and it offered nothing. Nobody cared. Not a peep from the crowd. And here we are, scratching our heads over why Dash is not there. Maybe he missed his flight. Maybe he got ill. Did he not want to show up? Did he not want to team with Scott Dawson on this evening? Did they argue over something that they weren't presented in catering and he's just stormed out of the arena? What happened? What happened? And why is Razor teaming up with someone who's not Akam? And the same thing could be said for Scott Dawson. I don't get this. This is not a revisioning of tag team wrestling. This was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Gable and Dawson's head clash, taking both out. Gable is able to recover with a rope-hung armbar to Razor. There was a cameraman, I believe it was during Scott Dawson's entrance, that took a nasty fall. I don't know what happened. Maybe he was just very upset over the lack of tag team wrestling in WWE as well, for the fact that he just said, fuck it. Let me put my camera down and say, fuck this shit, man. I don't like this decision either. Rude runs wild on a hot tag. Dawson accidentally misses a missile dropkick. Rude Salt pins Dawson. Gable with that moonsault. Who cares? Who cares? This is not going to get people to care about tag team wrestling. This is WWE's way of saying, oh, look, we're trying. We're trying over here. Just look at WWE's tag team division now. The Revival, embarrassed. They're an embarrassment. AOP is going to be out for about 3-4 months. Now they're mixing tag teams and mixing partners between AOP and the Revival. We still have tag team champions in Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. There's no other teams that are legitimate in this division. It's as if the division might as well be non-existent. You might as well not even have tag team championships on Monday Night Raw. What's going to happen next? Is the WWE setting to break up the Revival? Are we going to see Dash Wilder now team with Razor on Raw? Fuck out of here, man. You got to do better than that. This was fucking pathetic. It was really fucking pathetic. United States Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Rusev with Lana in 10 minutes and 15 seconds to win back the United States Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, why did Shinsuke Nakamura win the United States Championship on the pre-show of the Royal Rumble? The newest AEW effect victim. Right there. Shinsuke Nakamura. Why did Shinsuke Nakamura win the WWE United States Championship? Because WWE is afraid of his contract being up in March, and Cody really sending feelers out to everybody in WWE. Come on in. Come on in. Is there any reason to give Shinsuke Nakamura the United States Championship? Honestly, ask yourself this question logically. What did he do to deserve a rematch? In a day and age now, the new era, where rematches don't exist. What did he do to warrant a rematch? He assaulted someone's wife. Unintentionally. Rematch. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for Shinsuke Nakamura to win back the United States Championship unless Mustafa Ali, who WWE seems to be taking very good care of, is positioned in a way in which he takes the title off of Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. Now, that's something I wouldn't mind. But Nakamura, I'm hearing his contract's up in March. Maybe he loses it before March. I was told Nakamura doesn't have any solid WrestleMania plans. The fact that Nakamura's on the pre-show in 2019 after winning the Royal Rumble in 2018 is pathetic enough. And the fact that he won the United States Championship back is absolutely, unequivocally the AEW effect. No question. And if you don't think so, you are a fucking fool. An absolute fucking fool. Rusev did nothing with the championship. It stayed dormant. Or it laid dormant on SmackDown Live. He won it on Christmas Day. Nothing happened with the United States title since then. Then he loses it in his first real pay-per-view title defense. There you go. There you go. Nakamura, like I mentioned, in the Rumble last year, winning it. Now on the pre-show this year. Some really good back and forth between these two. I like their match on Christmas Day a lot better. I thought that was Rusev's best main roster match in a very long time. That was Nakamura's best match since, I would say, his last match with AJ Styles. I believe at Money in the Bank, the I Quit match. Or the Last Man Standing match. Whatever stipulation they had at Money in the Bank. That was his last match. That was his last good match. But these two have decent chemistry together. Not going to bullshit you. They have decent chemistry together. Good back and forth here before Rusev hits a fallaway slam. Nakamura avoided an accolade, and he eats a swinging side slam. He's able to capitalize and turn that into a triangle armbar right from the swinging side slam effect. There's a great spot where Rusev can't get Nakamura up out of the triangle. Nakamura's got the triangle applied. And when he does, it's countered into a guillotine by Nakamura. So these two really, like I said, they really do have decent chemistry. Now, out of the guillotine, Rusev does a deadlift. Deadlift suplex, turns it into a jackhammer for a 2 count. Really nice spot there. Nakamura pulls off an impressive slide. Rusev kicks out when the pin is just too deep. Now, I don't know what, I think it was one of them running knees, I think it was. But Rusev kicked out. Nakamura tries to untie the top. This is where it got really fucking ridiculous. This is one of many instances in which the WWE referees tonight looked absolutely fucking ridiculous. Nakamura, at the end of this thing, goes to untie the top turnbuckle, right? He's getting desperate. He can't beat Nakamura. He can't beat Rusev, rather, Nakamura. He wants to win back the United States Championship. He's untying the top turnbuckle. Lana gets up on the apron, and she takes her dress shoes off, right? She wants to throw her dress shoes at Nakamura. Or I think she actually does throw the dress shoes at Nakamura. She's complaining, "You're cheating! You're cheating! You're cheating!" Right? Yelling at him. The referee is there telling Lana to get off the apron. Meanwhile, Nakamura is legitimately cheating by taking the turnbuckle off the top rope. So, the referee in this instance is concerned with Lana when she isn't doing anything. She's actually pointing out something the referee should be watching. And Lana is the recipient of a miscue as Nakamura unties the top turnbuckle. Lana catches him. Rusev charges. They argue, Nakamura and Lana. With Rusev charging, he accidentally knocks Lana off the apron. She holds her ankle, injured. She's injured on the outside. Rusev is yelling, "Lana, get up, get up." Knee to the back of the head. Nakamura wins off this really fucking stupid distraction, and he wins the United States Championship back. I don't get how the referees are just made to look fucking stupid. She's telling the referee legitimately how to do her job, and she's not interfering in the match. Nakamura's taking the fucking turnbuckle off the top rope. He's legitimately cheating. Referee doesn't care. He's more concerned about Lana. Get down. Get down. You shouldn't be here. Referee looked like a blithering idiot in this situation. Now, Lana, being knocked off the apron and now injured, played into a much bigger story during the actual Rumble show, because Lana was advertised for the 30-woman Royal Rumble. And this comes into a huge factor, or it does become a huge factor later on in the show. WWE Cruiserweight Championship. That is the AEW effect, by the way, folks. If you need any more of a reminder, it's the AEW effect. Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy defends the Cruiserweight Championship against Hideo Itami, Kalisto, and Akira Tozawa. He successfully retains his Cruiserweight Championship in about 12 minutes on the pre-show. Buddy Murphy is fucking fantastic, man. I cannot wait until he is the next one. It's he and Cedric Alexander I always go to. Mustafa Ali made that jump. Mustafa Ali opened that door for everyone on 205 Live to really make the jump if the time is right. I could no question see Buddy Murphy challenging for an Intercontinental Championship or a United States Championship. The guy's just too good. The guy is too good to be stuck on 205 Live. Now, this Fatal 4-Way was fun. It wasn't a scientific match by any means. There wasn't really a lot of breaks, a lot of rests, a lot of people sleeping in these Fatal 4-Ways like we usually see. This was all action, non-stop. Buddy Murphy retained here. I'm surprised that Buddy Murphy actually retained the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, I mentioned on my preview and predictions, I'm going with Hideo Itami because of him also possibly being a factor of the AEW effect. Now, if you really look at Hideo Itami, his WWE career has been marred with injury, marred with setbacks, and he's finally coming into a little bit of his own on 205 Live. And if you really look at Hideo Itami's work, as far as his WWE career goes, this is the highlight of his career in WWE. That's pretty pathetic. I'm not taking anything away from him, but if WWE didn't see value in Hideo Itami enough on the pre-show of the Royal Rumble to give him the Cruiserweight Championship, then I don't think it's ever going to happen. And I do feel when his contract is up, he is as good as gone. Whether he goes back to Japan, whether he goes to AEW, whether he goes to Ring of Honor, whatever. I don't feel WWE is really going to miss Hideo Itami. Him leaving is not going to be a factor to anything that they do in the grand scheme of things or on 205 Live. I just don't think it's going to matter as much as people really think. Hideo Itami is dead. And it's a shame. I predicted him to win the championship simply because there was no better opportunity than this night to give him the title. And I do believe his contract is up this year. AEW could be calling. People in WWE don't value Hideo Itami, but if he went somewhere else, he could be a major get for any other promotion. And that's a pretty shitty thing to think about. That you're great at what you do, you offer little to no value to WWE, but if you go somewhere else, he could be a major, massive fucking breakout star somewhere else. And pick up the pieces right when he left, Japan to come on into the WWE. He could legitimately just go anywhere and start picking up the pieces from the beginning stages of when he first joined WWE. That's how shitty it's been for Hideo Itami on the WWE roster. Aiden English was on the announce team. Hideo Itami takes a coffee break on the outside. Nothing wrong with a good old coffee break. 3 springboards in Kalisto's arm drag. I don't really know. It really didn't do anything as far as impact the move. It was just pretty to see. And this is why people think, oh, look, flippy and divey and this and that. Not a big fan of Kalisto, so it really didn't do anything for me. He gets caught on the outside with a Murphy running suplex. Murphy has Kalisto up for a powerbomb outside, but Tozawa suicide dives on Kalisto, who runs Murphy into the barricade. Huge spot, man. Absolutely beautiful. And it's so difficult to do these Fatal 4-Ways, these triple threats, and come up with innovative, creative moves, man. That was a innovative and creative spot there in this Cruiserweight Championship match. Tozawa does a somersault senton off the apron to the floor on Murphy when Tozawa monkey flips him. There's a long dart to the corner, spear shot, as well as a big back body drop, tope con hilo. Murphy does an insane top rope con hilo of his own. One of the best, man. It's very Kenny Omega-like. Very Kenny Omega-like. So then we get Murphy with a running powerbomb, almost beats Kalisto in that sequence. Everybody tries to steal a pin after Murphy gets hit with a Tozawa spiked Rana. Those spiked Ranas on Buddy Murphy, man, they are very, very, I would say, effective. And they are very legitimate. He sells them incredibly well. They always look devastating. So after that big reverse Rana, Hideo Itami kicks out of an SDS from Kalisto, Salida del Sol. And things get worse for Kalisto when he eats a big knee. Now, Hideo and Murphy are trading shots here. Murphy hits the Murphy's Law and wins it. And like I mentioned, it was 12 minutes of no rest holds. It was 12 minutes of Just high-octane action, what you would expect from the Cruiserweights. And it was a spot fest. It was these 4 guys on a stage like the Royal Rumble. And one mention here, one little critique. I like that this match went on last in the pre-show because this was definitely, of the 3 matches, the most highlighted one. And I'm glad that these guys were put on last right before we actually got into the main show, because I want the Cruiserweights on a more normal basis to A, be on the featured show. I understood why they couldn't be on the featured show this evening, but I want them to be in front of the most eyes as humanly possible, because they are fucking great at what they do. You know, they are really great at what they do. I'm not a big fan of Kalisto or Akira Tozawa. I don't really see them factoring into anything that Buddy Murphy is doing, but the fact that they got the fact that they got to share the stage on this night, you know, it shows you what these guys are capable of. They're all talented guys. Buddy Murphy, still the very best on 205 Live, and WWE seems to think so. He's still the Cruiserweight Champion, retains in a fatal 4-way at 12 minutes and 5 seconds. The Royal Rumble opened up with a fucking barn burner, man. Unbelievable match between Asuka and Becky Lynch. Royal Rumble 2019 is underway. I loved the setup of the Royal Rumble, okay? I'm making mention of it here because WWE really went into overdrive with the visuals from watching at home. I love the dugout setup. It was not a big Tron like we're usually seeing, but it was 3 mini Trons. It was like a fourth of a Tron in the dugout on each side and then in the back, right where the steps are. And the Rumble aisleway was almost as if you were rounding a base. It was almost as if you were rounding a base. And I like that look. It had a big pay-per-view feel. And then WWE went a step ahead with the visuals at home. For Asuka, you got the CGI'd masks in an ascending fashion. You know, this was one of the few things that I actually liked during the show. Some of them made sense. Some of them did not make sense. You know, for example, like Brock Lesnar's Beast logo, you see that hanging as if it's legitimately hanging in the arena, but you're seeing at home CGI'd on your TV. Ember Moon, when she came out during the Royal Rumble, she had that big moon just overlooking the stadium, CGI'd into the TV screen. I like that stuff, man. I think that's very cool. Some of them didn't make any sense. Like Finn Balor's, it had his Finn Balor logo with his name and had the V. You know, it looked ridiculous. Some of them really look ridiculous, but I really like that CGI effect that WWE gave many of the superstars. Excuse me, on Royal Rumble night. Asuka beats Becky Lynch 17 minutes and 7 seconds in what will definitely be one of the best women's matches of the entire year. This was fantastic. This was absolutely fantastic. Everybody's critique going into this match was, how are we going to get Becky into the Royal Rumble? That was everybody's guess. Now, with everybody wanting that, the backup question, or the follow-up question to that, rather, was how do we keep Asuka looking strong? I really didn't know what they were going to do. I pitched that Asuka was going to win this match, look strong while she's in the ring with Becky, and win by a fuck finish, a DQ, or an interference of some sort. I totally did not expect what we got at the end of this match. And the ending of this match, last night, this is why I said in the beginning, I'm glad I waited to do the review this morning. Last night, I didn't like it. I still don't like it, but I'm a little bit more understanding of what happened. It's a little bit more easy to digest this morning than it was last night. Now, me personally, I wouldn't have had Becky Lynch tap out to the Asuka lock. I would not have had Becky Lynch tap out at all. I honestly still, to this day, this hour, following the Rumble, I think it's a terrible booking decision. And I have my reasons for why it's a terrible booking decision. Why Becky Lynch tapped out is a terrible booking decision. Becky Lynch, she needed to go into this looking strong. She needed to go into WrestleMania looking strong against Ronda Rousey. Okay, I understand we need to make Asuka look strong. I get it. but there's ways to go about it. Becky Lynch tapping out gives everybody the impression now that if she does enter the Royal Rumble, now we didn't know what was going to happen after the conclusion of this match. If she tapped out, when we seen Becky Lynch tap out, and we were all wondering, is she going to be in the Royal Rumble? How are they going to factor this into the Royal Rumble now? If Becky tapped out and went into the Royal Rumble, there's absolutely no way of looking at it but Becky being a crybaby. Oh, I lost. I deserve to be in the Royal Rumble. You know? So I thought of it that way. If Becky Lynch lost clean like this, tapping out, and then tries to get into the Royal Rumble, she's going to look like she's entitled. She's going to look like she's coming off as a crybaby. And I didn't want that. Because that's not Becky Lynch. Now, the other thing is if Becky tapped here, and you're setting her up for a Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania, what makes you think that Ronda Rousey isn't going to do the same thing to Becky Lynch? If I'm Ronda Rousey, I'm thinking, well, if Asuka made Becky Lynch tap out, Becky Lynch is the man, then it should be no question. Should be a fucking cakewalk for me to tap out Becky Lynch. That's what I was thinking. I don't know what you guys were thinking. Becky Lynch taps out to Asuka, and everybody wanted, oh, I liked it. Oh, I liked it. It's fine if you liked it, but I'm giving you reasons as to why it don't make any sense. With Becky Lynch tapping out, how does that make her look against another submission specialist in Ronda Rousey? What makes you think that Becky Lynch is going to maintain or withstand Ronda's armbar when she can't maintain Asuka's armbar? This is why I didn't like the ending. A DQ finish would have been perfect. But then if you go the DQ route, it's been done time and time and time again. It's a tired formula. And it would have been a cheap way out. Now, if you went the pass out route, like Shayna Baszler did with Bianca Belair at Takeover Phoenix, that would have been a little bit more of a logical situation. Because Becky wasn't physically seen doing this. Her doing this makes her look a lot less credible going into a match with Ronda Rousey. That's what I don't like. Now, on the other hand, Asuka needed to look strong. Everybody was wondering that Asuka's going to play second fiddle. Well, Asuka's going to be a transitional champion. They're going to give Becky the championship. They're going to leave her out of the Royal Rumble. And we're going to get Asuka, Becky 2 at WrestleMania. I knew WWE wasn't going to go that route. But the fact that I'm looking at this now, in retrospect, like I said, it's a little bit easier to digest because I am very happy that Asuka looked as dominant as I have ever seen her. This was NXT-styled Asuka dominant. So I have no problem with that. But was it worth really that huge logic gap to Becky Lynch's character? WWE took a chance on it. I just didn't like the fact that Becky tapped out and then tried to get into the Royal Rumble later on. It made her seem like a crybaby. And the bigger aspect of it all, like I mentioned, if Becky's tapping out to Asuka, what makes you think that Ronda is going to be a little bit more wary about what she could do to Becky Lynch? If she can't stand Asuka's Asuka lock, what makes you think that she's going to stand a chance against Ronda Rousey's armbar? It makes her look weak. We didn't need Becky to look weak here. That was my issue. That was my issue with the entire thing. This was a great fucking match. Physical. It brought back the Asuka that we all have wanted to see for months. As far as Becky Lynch goes, you know, I see a lot of Becky Lynch hate. More hate than usual on Becky Lynch. With Becky's intensity in this match, with the way Becky carried herself, being physical with Asuka, blow for blow, move for move, sequence for sequence, they laid out a great match. There's no doubt in my mind that if you put Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey one-on-one, it's going to be the same thing. Becky is ready for whatever intensity level there is. Becky's ready for the main event. Becky's ready for the spotlight. This was, you could honestly look at this as being a, let's get Becky ready for WrestleMania match. She passed with flying fucking colors here. If you didn't believe in Becky already, there's no reason why you should not be believing in Becky after this match. This was fantastic. I love this opening match. Great opening match. Asuka runs into Becky with a hip check or a hip attack. But outside the ring, She is caught in a Bexploder suplex into the barricade, man. One of my favorite spots in the entire match. That Bexploder suplex into the barricade looked really good. Becky goes for a spinning wheel kick, and it really didn't come off as good. She misses, and it looked really sloppy. Asuka is caught up in the ropes, kicked, but she applies the Asuka lock to Becky Lynch. Now, she went for that running ass attack, or the hip attack, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She gets caught in the ropes. So she's legitimately sitting in the ropes. Becky kicks her while she's sitting in the ropes, and Asuka counters it by getting the Asuka lock while she's still sitting in the ropes. Really nice spot there. So she's posted into the ropes. Soon after that, Becky tries for the disarmer in the ropes, and the referee starts breaking the hold with a 5 count. Asuka hits Becky with a huge knee, a drop kick, and a German suplex for a near fall. Asuka then goes for an armbar and an Asuka lock, but Becky gets to the ropes. I loved the struggle of Becky knowing the Asuka lock was trying to be applied and desperately trying to get to the ropes. I love that story of Asuka trying to get the Asuka lock, Becky going for the disarmer, and they were going back and forth as if it was a game of chess. So, a German suplex off the apron is trying to be attempted by Asuka. Then an apron Bexploder off the apron by Becky. This turned into one of the sickest bumps of the night. It was definitely the sickest bump of the match. They tried for German suplex and Bexploder individually. It ended up being a Nikki Cross-like swinging fisherman neckbreaker off the apron, and the way Asuka splatted and hit the floor sounded sickening. They showed the replay of Becky hitting the floor, man. If Becky landed any more on her shoulder, that would have been bad. Becky nailed the landing, but it still had to fucking hurt like hell, man. That was a scary spot. Becky could have really dislocated her shoulder on that. You know, shit like that really isn't necessary in a match that's already this good. At this point, you're really taking an unnecessary risk. I like seeing this type of thing, but honestly, you got to think about it. Is it worth injuring yourself when we're this close to WrestleMania with that type of spot? Great to see, but in execution, it's just fucking stupid if you ask me. So, they get back in the ring, and they start trading spots, shots. Asuka hits a huge kick for 2. Asuka's kicks were devastating in this match. Becky comes back with another exploder suplex. Lynch misses a leg drop off the top rope. She goes for that big leg off the top rope that she usually is known for doing. But she comes down, she misses. Asuka goes right into a transition for a disarm her. So, it's amazing how the Asuka lock wasn't working. And when Asuka seen an opening after Becky missed a leg drop off the top rope, she goes for a disarmer on Becky Lynch. She goes for her own finishing move. Now, Becky got out of this and put Asuka in the Asuka lock. At this point, I'm like, man, these women are absolutely fucking killing it. So they get back to their feet. Becky is kicked in the head again, very stiff. Applies the disarmer again. They're just trading submission finishes at this point. Asuka lock, disarmer, Asuka lock, disarmer. A bridging Asuka lock is what Becky Lynch is applied in. She ends up tapping out. It looked more like a fucking Muda lock. It looked like a Last Chancery almost, but the Asuka lock was applied. Now, if I'm Becky Lynch, obviously I'm tapping out to this because the way Becky Lynch's neck, from what I seen, it was so stretched and cramped. There's no way that Becky is going to maintain even staying in that hold for as long as she did. Longer than she was. And there's no way for her to reach the ropes. There was no opportunity for Becky to reach the ropes. So she ended up tapping out. So, yes, it makes Asuka look strong, and it makes Asuka all that much more great in the grand scheme of things, but Becky Lynch tapping out, I'm not sure if that was the decision that WWE should have gone with. Now, I understand that they wanted to create some unpredictability. Is Becky losing here and not going to be in the Royal Rumble? Or WWE probably was thinking maybe, they were thinking, well, we're going to make them sweat it out a bit, We're going to make them sweat it out, and we're not going to give them what they want in the end. So I don't really know why this was the end decision here with Becky tapping. I would have much rather the pass out, but then you probably get the Stone Cold Steve Austin references with the Bret Hart match at WrestleMania 13. You know, it's you can't make anybody happy. No one's going to be happy about the end result. Nobody. But the fact is that I honestly think there's more negative to come with Becky tapping out. There's more logic calls with Becky tapping out than anything. Yeah, Asuka looks great. And one of the main priorities was Asuka needed to look great. It just came at the expense of Becky Lynch. And I don't think WWE had any other way to do it. The DQ, like I mentioned, would have been a tired fucking formula. We've seen how many fucking times, you know? It was, unfortunately, WWE backing themselves into a corner. But there had to be a better decision than this. There had to be a better decision than Becky just clearly tapping out. It doesn't really make any sense going into a match with Ronda Rousey. So let me know what you guys think about that. Something that really could have been kept off the show, to be perfectly honest with you. Shane McMahon and The Miz against The Bar. Shane McMahon and The Miz defeat The Bar. Sheamus and Cesaro to win the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tag Team Championships for the Royal Rumble 2019. SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships was the day these titles became more irrelevant than ever. I don't really understand why we're getting Shane McMahon and The Miz on SmackDown Live when I've stated repeatedly every single week till I'm blue in the fucking face, SmackDown Live has tag teams. SmackDown Live has the Usos, The Bar, The New Day, Sanity, The Club. You want to put heavy machinery on SmackDown Live, so be it. They have tag teams. Harper and Rowan are due back. They have tag teams to where they don't need this makeshift tag team of Shane McMahon and The Miz on SmackDown Live. Now, I made mention that this is WWE's focus on tag team wrestling. They have all these tag teams, legitimate fucking tag teams, to make into stars, and they want to make Shane and The Miz a makeshift tag team the priority on SmackDown Live. How do you think this makes all the other teams on SmackDown Live feel? You think they're getting shafted? You don't think they're feeling shafted and screwed here? Oh, but JD, they make good moment, the feel-good moment, man, with The Miz's dad, man. So, we're putting together The Miz and Shane McMahon to get a good feeling or a memorable feeling moment with The Miz's dad? A feel-good moment with The Miz's dad? Well, I don't understand this. The Miz and Shane McMahon, I honestly feel like if The Miz and Shane McMahon were on Monday Night Raw, where you have no fucking tag teams, and if you wanted to have some star power in a dead division, maybe they would have worked better on Monday Night Raw to get the fucking blood flowing. But you have teams on SmackDown Live in which this is not necessary. This is my point. Lame. Absolutely lame. A team like Sheamus and Cesaro, a world-class team like Sheamus and Cesaro, falling to a McMahon and the fucking Miz, losing the tag team titles. And then people are complaining to me that I'm complaining, oh, well, Shane McMahon's moonsault was great. I don't give a fuck about his moonsault. I know the moonsault was great. What does that have to do with the point that I just made? Oh, his moonsault was great for a 50-year-old. Give me a break. Give me a... If that's what you're looking for, to tell me the match was good or you enjoyed the match, you're reaching for fucking straws. The bigger issue is looming here. It's that this team is not needed or necessary on SmackDown Live. And what's the end result here? What's the end result? The tired and true fucking formula where you got this super team of Shane McMahon and The Miz. The Miz has no WrestleMania opponent. Shane McMahon needs his obligatory WrestleMania match. What's going to happen? They're going to lose the tag team championships in some disgruntled argument, and then they're going to go one-on-one at WrestleMania. Do you care? Are you invested in this team enough to fucking care about a Miz Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania? Come on, bro. They have matching gear. Great. Great. The Miz came out wearing a baseball jersey that is lined up and colored like Shane McMahon's. They wore matching jerseys. Great. Great. All the fucking cheesy, cringe segments on SmackDown Live where the Miz is trying to come up with fucking wrestling outfits for them for the Royal Rumble. Who cares? Shane comes out, very aggressive. The Bar try to put Shane McMahon through a table, but Sheamus gets hit with a flying clothesline to the outside from him. So Cesaro was laid out on the table. McMahon was going right for that flying elbow drop through the table already. He's going right for the kill already in this match. Well, I guess they had to because they had to build some fucking interest in this match. Why not go off the walls, off the ball crazy? So Shane jumps off and he nails a clothesline on Sheamus. Shane then gets slammed into the barricade by Cesaro. Miz then gets beat up extensively and tags out to Shane. Shane avoids the bro kick, which, if you watch SmackDown Live, Shane got leveled with a bro kick. I think his head is still spinning. So Shane avoids the bro kick this time. Drops Sheamus with some punches. He does a float over DDT that looked absolutely fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. The guy could do a fucking moonsault off the top rope, picture perfect, but he can't throw a fucking punch, and he can't do a DDT correctly. Shane goes for a double coast to coast, caught in a Cesaro swing that seemed to never end. Cesaro added a few more revolutions on that Cesaro swing. It's always impressive how he just maintains his balance, doing it over and over and over again. It's like it doesn't even affect him anymore. Shane goes for a triangle, puts out on Cesaro. Sheamus a knee drop and breaks that up. Sheamus accidentally bro kicks Cesaro, skull-crushing finale, and Shane McMahon goes to the top rope for a shooting star press, it was. He could do a shooting star press, but he can't throw a fucking punch to save his life. Shooting star press from Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon at 49 years old does a beautiful shooting star press. He does a better fucking aerial maneuver than Charlotte Flair does at 49 years old. Just let that sink in. Anyway, shooting star press for the win. Miz embraces his dad at ringside, gives him one of the titles. I think Shane gives the Miz's dad one of the titles, and they take a picture with the titles and him holding the titles. Yeah, it was a feel-good moment, but is this necessary on SmackDown Live when you got fucking world-class tag teams? This is what you're doing with your tag team titles on SmackDown. And then you wonder why the Revival won out. Then you wonder why the Young Bucks don't want to come to the WWE. Then you wonder why people want out of the WWE, period. Come on. If this was on Monday Night Raw, I might be a little bit more receptive to it because a team like that could get the blood flowing on Monday Night Raw. On SmackDown Live, you don't need it. How do you have a team like the Usos on SmackDown Live and they're not representing your tag team championships? It's a little fucking bizarre if you ask me. All for a Shane McMahon Miz match at WrestleMania. Come on. Come on. Moving on. Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey defeats Sasha Banks in 14 minutes to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Man, we got a lot of women's action to open the Royal Rumble because we had the Becky Lynch Asuka match for the SmackDown title, Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey, and then right after this we went into the Women's Royal Rumble. I love this match. I don't think this was the match of the night by any means. I think Asuka and Becky Lynch absolutely killed this match. Not by much, but I mean, it was not even a comparison to me. This was a great match. Sasha Banks, you know, I'm tired of... first of all, Ronda Rousey's really great at what she does, okay? She's still sloppy at points. Yes, I'm not sitting here telling that Ronda Rousey's terrible. I'm not sitting here telling you that Ronda Rousey's never going to be able to main event a WrestleMania. She's absolutely ready to main event a WrestleMania. From what we've seen in her and her growth, she's ready. She has that big fight fucking presence to her. She has that legitimacy about her. And what she's done with the women's division to get us to this point is it's just one of those things that you can't even measure. It's insurmountable, the amount of influence that she's had on the women's division already. Whether she's directly correlated with it or not, she's there, and it makes everybody else around her better. And in this case, it's Becky and Charlotte. Look at what we're getting. I mentioned this on Off the Script. Ronda's influence is spreading to Becky, it's spreading to Charlotte, it's spreading to Asuka, and now Sasha Banks. This was the best Sasha Banks match that she's had since a random match with Asuka back in the winter of 2018, I believe. It might have been February or March, I believe. It was Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think most of you know what I'm talking about. There was a match on Raw, Sasha and Asuka on Raw. Just a random match. Before that, this was the best Sasha Banks match that we've seen since that Last Man Standing match on Monday Night Raw with her and Charlotte. And then obviously before that, the Bayley one-on-one matches in NXT. I've praised Sasha Banks for so long. And most of you know, if you're watching me, in my honest opinion, on Monday Night Raw, Sasha Banks is the best female performer on Monday Night Raw. No question. No question. She may be the best female performer in all of WWE. What the woman does is passionate, it's respectable, and I honestly think that the level of passion and dedication that Sasha has, more women on the roster can definitely learn and gain influence from Sasha Banks. This was great. She brought it. She knew this was the biggest match of her fucking career, and she made you, at the end of the night, say, I don't know how WWE isn't pushing this woman. It is unfucking fair to Sasha Banks how she's been neglected on Monday Night Raw in every which way, how WWE hasn't pushed her as a top-tier female athlete. You talk about Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, and Asuka. Why isn't Sasha Banks in this discussion? Why? I never understood that. Everything that this woman does in the ring, everything that this woman has done for the evolution of women's wrestling, it's like she took the last year and a half off. As if she never mattered to WWE. I'm glad this match happened. Whether it was on 3-4 weeks build or not. Less than that, 3 weeks. Whatever. The fact that this match happened was important to Rhonda to get her ready for what's to come at WrestleMania. Another learning curve for Ronda Rousey. And I'm glad that this match happened for Sasha Banks. She carried most of the workload with Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble. So much so that I hope that when we get to the Elimination Chamber, her and Bayley are crowned WWE Tag Team Champions for the women's division. This should be looked at as a celebration, and this should be looked at by WWE management as a way to reward Sasha Banks for everything that they've done with her. This should be a step in the right direction moving forward. She gave you a great match with Ronda Rousey. Now reward her and bring her back to being a top priority with something that would make her extremely fucking happy. You don't think that woman wants to make fucking history? You don't think she wants those tag team titles more so than anyone else? There's nobody even coming close to thinking of when you're talking about women's tag team titles. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. This match was sloppy at points, but it wasn't sloppy to a point where it made me roll my eyes. It wasn't sloppy to a point where it made me cringe. It was a great match. And the cherry on top of the cake was that we seen NXT Sasha. You know, we started to see NXT Sasha. We started to see that boss Sasha Banks come out, you know, during the promos and her attitude with Ronda Rousey. I'm going to make you tap out. I'm the boss bitch. You know, this. Sasha Banks channeled that boss in ring. And she tried to bend the rules just a little bit, man. There was a moment in this match where she took off her arm sleeves, you know, whatever was attached to her ring gear, and she started choking Ronda Rousey with it while she was applied in the bank statement. Great match, man. Ronda Rousey came out looking like the White Ranger. She also was wearing AEW colors, by the way. That white, gold, and black. Ronda to AEW confirmed. No, I'm only kidding. Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks, nice reversals to counter each other's arm attacks. Obviously, Sasha's going for the bank statement. Ronda's going for the arm bar. Sasha is in the ring, and she's very confident, right? She's very confident. There was a point in this match in the beginning, Ronda got so upset. I loved this, and I want to see more of this from Ronda. Ronda was so frustrated by I don't know if there was a "you can't wrestle" chant or whatever. Ronda was angry for whatever reason. I don't know if she was angry at Sasha or she was angry with the reaction she was getting from the crowd. She yelled out, "I can't wrestle? I'll show you I can't wrestle." And she pulled out the Three Amigos. She poked fun at Sasha and citing Eddie Guerrero as her influence. I'm like, oh shit, man. She broke out the Three Amigos, man. Fucking great. Rousey accidentally, at one point in this match, punches the ring post. And this was the story of the match. Obviously, set up for the bank statement. Rousey, so angry, punched the ring post. Lights went out. The LED, they had the LED ring post. She punched the ring post. Lights went out. So she accidentally punches the ring post, and it malfunctions. Sasha follows up with a suicide dive. I was worried about the suicide dives because sometimes Sasha botches them. They came off very nicely done here in this match. Banks works over the arm of Rousey heavily, obviously, because of the punch on the ring post. Dropping it across her knee, working on the arm. Rousey goes for a Piper's Pit after a roll-through, but Banks counters it into an amazing armbar. Now, this part made me cringe because the way Rhonda was put in this hold, the announcers did a really good job. The announcing on this match was decent. They made mention, or I think Corey Graves did, an arm should not be bending that way. I don't know if Rhonda is double jointed or not, but the way that Sasha bent her shoulder back, I swear to God, man, it looked like if she bent it any further back, she was going to rip Ronda Rousey's arm off. Like, I was legitimately going to see a fucking fatality in a WWE ring, Mortal Kombat style. It looked fucking gruesome the way she hyperextended. I was saying to myself, man, I can't look at that, man. Just like when Pete Dunne does the joint manipulation, man. Arms and fingers, wrists shouldn't be bending that way. So, man, kudos to Ronda and kudos to Charlotte, man. Sasha. It just looked disgusting. Absolutely looked disgusting. Then that leads to Sasha wrenching the fingers and biting. She legitimately started to bite Ronda Rousey's fingers. It was fucking gruesome and awesome at the same time. Rousey gets out and hits a Piper's Pit with one arm. So she hits that rolling Samoan slam that she usually does, that she calls Piper's Pit. Rousey and Banks are changing shit on the fly, and this is where they tried to do too much, and you started to see a little botch here, a little botch there. It wasn't anything that made you say, Jesus Christ, this match is a fucking sloppy mess, but there was moments in this match where they tried to do too much, but it came to a point where they transitioned nicely and saved themselves before it got or looked any worse. Banks manages to get a superplex that Ronda Rousey, she was nailed beautifully with that superplex. Sasha is great. She is now up with Sasha, and she gets thrown around. Those arm drags that she likes to judo throw you. She starts dragging Sasha Banks down with those arm drags. Rousey catches Sasha's suicide dive on the outside with a flying armbar on the outside. She makes Sasha tap out in a submission hold on the outside. Sasha's legitimately tapping, but you can't do nothing because it's got to happen inside the ring. So Sasha taps out, but they're outside. Sasha body presses out of another attempt of the Piper's Pit. She has Banks in a bank statement and applied her own wrist tape. Well, she has Ronda Rousey, rather. A bank statement is applied. And the wrist tape, like I told you, the little wiring or the little design on her sleeve, she took that off, and she started choking Ronda Rousey with this material from her outfit in the bank statement. And then she transitions into an armbar. Rousey counters the armbar with a gut-wrench slam. Kind of sloppy, but I guess in that situation, she had to do whatever she had to do to get out of the hold. She goes into a Piper's Pit, and all of a sudden, it was just over. All of a sudden, it was just over. A sign of respect is shown after the match. Sasha is lingering in the aisleway. Now, I was hoping that we'd see heel Sasha Banks here. I was hoping that we get a Charlotte-esque beatdown here on Ronda Rousey by Sasha Banks, but it didn't happen. Sasha looked like she wanted to cry. Sasha looked like she was angry. Sasha looked like she was going through 4 or 5 different emotions in the aisleway before she actually returned to the ring, got in Ronda's face, and all she did was this. Seeds planted some more, my friends. Seeds planted. Now, all we need is WWE to water those seeds, and they can grow into a 4 horsewomen match at Survivor Series. Not sure if it's going to happen this year. I wouldn't even be in a rush to do it after all the Ronda Rousey news that she's going away. You know? Ronda Rousey, I reported on Off the Script. If you guys missed Off the Script, please make sure you guys go and check it out. I got the thumbnail here, man. Go check out Off the Script. Ronda Rousey calls out Dave Meltzer. The other big story is the New Day interested in AEW. I mean, who is not interested in AEW? You'd be lying to yourself if you say you're not. But Ronda Rousey calls out Dave Meltzer because it was reported that Ronda Rousey is going to go away after WrestleMania, after she does the deed to either Charlotte or Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. She didn't want this information being leaked out. She doesn't like her personal information being leaked out there. And it's one of those instances where if we start seeing these seeds for the 4 Horsemen feud, when is it going to happen? Maybe Ronda goes away, and I've been claiming for a Shayna Baszler call-up for fucking months now, since October, November, after Evolution. I've even been quoted saying that I think Shayna Baszler is better than Ronda Rousey, to be honest with you, as far as what she's been doing in the WWE. I love Shayna more so than I do Ronda. I think Shayna's great. Maybe when Ronda goes away, Shayna comes up and takes her place and is like the placeholder until Ronda Rousey gets back. Whether this horsewoman feud happens this year or next year, either way you look at it, I wasn't too pleased with the Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke's debut. And they are absolutely nowhere close to where Shayna Baszler is. And right now they're only being used as like, oh, we're nothing but Shayna's posse. We're going to be there when she needs us to interfere in her matches. But they really haven't done anything on their own. And look at all the time it took Shayna to get where she is now. It legitimately took Shayna about a year and a half to even get to where she is now. So if we don't see the Horsewoman feud this year, I'm not going to be upset about it. As long as seeds continue to be planted. When Ronda goes away, I think it would be great for Shayna to take her position on Monday Night Raw. I think there's going to be a unification match anyway. So Shayna taking Ronda's position on the main roster in the time being when Ronda's away until Ronda comes back, I think is a great idea. So the seeds were planted here, and Sasha held up the forefingers, walks away. This was a great match. You know, a lot of people want to sit there and say, oh, Ronda sucks. Oh, Ronda's this, Ronda's that. Sasha sucks. All fanboyism and fangirlism. These super fans, man, they got the worst fucking communities on social media. Sasha is great. Ronda is great. Why can't everybody be great? This was a great match. Great showcase. Sasha got Ronda ready a little bit more for WrestleMania. Sasha had the biggest match of her fucking career with Ronda Rousey. Proved that she could do anything. And WWE really needs to open their eyes with Sasha Banks, honestly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you anymore. Sasha deserves better on Monday Night Raw. The Women's Royal Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble, man. Jesus fucking Christ. This was boring. Nothing in this match happened outside of the last 7 to 8 entries. I wasn't excited about this whatsoever. Becky Lynch wins the Royal Rumble at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 30 seconds. Now, this was the right decision. But how we got there, A, WWE made us sweat, and B, I honestly think WWE killed a lot of the momentum in a feel-good moment. And I'm going to add a C here. Compared to, looking back at it now especially, the Women's Royal Rumble should have main evented this show. The Men's Royal Rumble should have been in this spot. Because this moment should have been the last thing that we seen on this show. I'm just saying. Lacey Evans comes out at number 1. Natalya comes out at number 2. Mandy comes out at number 3. Corey Graves and his commentary when Mandy Rose is out is fucking fantastic, man. I could listen to it all night on SmackDown Live. Lacey missed a big moonsault on Mandy. Mandy moved out of the way. Natalya applies what looked to be a double sharpshooter on Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans. Liv Morgan is number 4. She's out. She's in, and then she's out. Quickest elimination in Royal Rumble history. The small history of the Women's Royal Rumble. I believe the quickest elimination last year was about 40, 50 seconds. I don't remember who it was. But Liv Morgan now beat that. She was in and out. It was about 5 seconds. So Liv Morgan now has the unfortunate record of quickest elimination in a Women's Royal Rumble. Natalya eliminated her. Liv Morgan, like I mentioned, eliminated. Out comes Mickie James. Oh, Vicky Guerrero was the previous record. There you go. Mickie James, number 5. She comes out. Goes right after Natalya. Mick kick. I don't know what happened here, man. I cringed at this. There was a spot with Mickie James and Mandy Rose. You know, Mickie was throwing kicks and clearly missing every fucking one of them. Mandy was selling them as if they were connecting. It was god-awful. So that just kind of set the tone for what is to come in this Royal Rumble. Ember Moon comes out at number 6. Billie Kay comes out at number 7. Now, Billie Kay is god-awful. For all the Billie Kay marks out there, it's the truth. She's god-awful. Billie won't enter the match without Peyton Royce. So she surrounds the ring. She goes up to the announce desk and starts banging on the announce desk. I'm not going in the Rumble until Peyton is here. Corey Graves is selling it like a heel. That's a great idea. That's a brilliant idea. So she won't get in until Peyton comes out. Out comes number 8. Is it Peyton Royce? Of course it's not. It's Nikki Cross. And I laughed out loud, man. Nikki Cross acting like a fool on the stage, and she throws her jacket down. She runs to the ring, and she stands there with Billie Kay standing there waiting for Peyton Royce. She's standing there getting ready like a fucking Tasmanian devil. She sees Billie Kay standing next to her, and she throws her into the barricade. I could not stop. I was laughing for a good minute. I thought it was fucking fantastic, man. So she attacks her, and we get Nikki in the match now. And this is what I hated here, man. Nikki Cross was in the Royal Rumble. I even made mention of this on Twitter. Nikki Cross was in the Royal Rumble, and she didn't get one fucking elimination. She didn't get one fucking elimination. I don't know why Nikki Cross is on the main roster, and she's going to be a big... You know, she sells that gimmick. She's got... You know, she may be a fucking lunatic to some people, but she's a lovable gimmick. There's no way you're watching Nikki Cross and you're not really enjoying what she's doing. I find that very difficult to believe. She didn't get one fucking elimination in this entire Royal Rumble. Meanwhile, you got Nia Jax in the Men's Royal Rumble eliminating Mustafa Ali. Yet you can't get fucking Nikki Cross into the Royal Rumble with a few eliminations? I don't know the logic in that. I don't know the logic in that. Now, WWE has these things that they just abuse, and I fucking hate it when it comes to the Royal Rumble. It's like the Jerry the King Lawler method. Hiding underneath the ring. Right? Waiting for everybody to be out, and you're going to sneak the guy who's standing last and hopefully win the Royal Rumble because you hid underneath the ring. In this case, Billie Kay was waiting on the outside to get into the ring, and she won't get into the ring without Peyton Royce. Meanwhile, you got 3 referees on the outside. They're the law and order there. Get the fuck back in the ring. Get in the ring. It is not allowed for you to be on the outside. Retard refs, number 2. That's the second instance here. So Peyton Royce comes out at number 9 anyway. So now we got the Iconics in there focusing on Nikki Cross because Nikki Cross took out Billie Kay. Tamina comes out at number 10, and I vomit a little. Tamina is fucking god-awful. Tamina, you're god-awful. You are absolutely dreadful at what you do. Please, please get this woman off our TVs. Why she's even in the division? It's just... It's unreal to me. She goes at it with Nikki Cross and super kicks her, right? And then Tamina goes and attacks Nikki Cross, and she goes out through the middle rope. Tamina is just god-awful. She does a superfly splash, eventually, on Cross, back in the ring, kicks Mickey out of the ring. I don't know what the fuck's going on at this point. I really don't. Number 11 comes out, Xia Li. Nobody in the fucking crowd knew who Xia Li was. This was a poor NXT choice, by the way. Out of all the NXT talent, this is the fucking best you got. Xia Li? Couldn't bring out Toni Storm. I'm just saying. She was there. Xia Li comes out at number 11. She goes right after Tamina. I don't know why. Unless she wants to get fucking botched on. Doesn't look good. Tamina is just, at this point, she can't bump, she can't sell, she can't have any fucking believable offense. She's just god-awful what she does. Sarah Logan comes out at number 12. Tries to eliminate Ember Moon. Ember Moon really had a great showing in this Royal Rumble, man. If there was one person in this match I wanted to be the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble, it was definitely Ember Moon. Sarah Logan comes out, tries to eliminate Ember Moon, who holds on via her feet. And it was one of those instances where it looked cool. It wasn't something that was outdone or overplayed. It was Ember Moon on the apron, and she was trying to hang on desperately to save her spot in the Royal Rumble, and she was about to slide out of the ring and get eliminated, but the tips of her toes were hanging on to the bottom of the rope, or the bottom rope, and she was hanging out on the outside towards the concrete floor. She pulled herself up in a push-up. Or not push-up, a sit-up position, and she got back in the ring, man. It was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive there by Ember Moon, who lasted about a good 45 minutes in this match, man. So kudos to her. I think that was a really, really great showing for Ember Moon. Iconics eliminate Nikki Cross. Again, at this point, like I said, Nikki Cross not had one elimination. God-awful. Charlotte Flair comes out, does the whole spinning in the robe thing. I mean, we're not here to show off. We're here to fight. One of those things. Comes out for her first Royal Rumble, tosses out the Iconics and Xia. So right next, we get Iconics, Xia, and then Tamina right after that. So 4 eliminations right out of the gate for Charlotte Flair. Up until this point, I believe the only one that was eliminated was Liv Morgan. So the ring was pretty full at this point. So Kairi Sane comes out at number 14. There was a great spot with Kairi Sane and Charlotte Flair. Kairi held Charlotte's face. And everybody loves Kairi Sane. They're all friends. Everybody loves Kairi Sane. Kairi's holding Charlotte's face, and Charlotte, I love the sequence between these two. Charlotte says, "Bring it on. What do you got? You want this? What do you got?" And she opens her chest up for Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane starts fucking knife-edge chopping her into oblivion. They go back and forth with it, man. Great shit. I would love to see a Kairi versus Charlotte match somewhere down the line. It's one of my favorite moments in this Royal Rumble. So Kairi's out. And she goes one-on-one with Charlotte for a little bit. Sarah Logan. We get Natalya and Kairi eliminating Sarah Logan after an insane elbow. Kairi's insane elbow here was beautiful, man, on Sarah Logan. Nailed it. She got eliminated there, Logan did. Maria Kanellis comes out. The power of love. Power of love. I'm surprised to even see Maria Kanellis after the rumors that we've heard about Mike Emery asking for her and his release. She's out. Charlotte Flair and Lacey are having a face-off. Lacey looked pretty good in this too, man. Drawing number 1, she had a pretty decent showing. I wish it was a little bit longer. I think the NXT talents should have been positioned in a much better way, but that's just me. In both the men's and the women's Royal Rumble, just not the women's. So Maria Kanellis is out. She interrupts Charlotte and Lacey and gets double-teamed upon entry. Naomi, 16, is the next entrant. She goes right after Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose tries to steal an elimination, but Naomi jumps. This is another fucking thing that we've seen so many times in the Royal Rumble, and it just discredits the fucking prestige of the Royal Rumble, man. It makes a mockery of the Royal Rumble. Naomi jumps. She first of all, she's on the outside. Her feet are not. The rules of the Royal Rumble are your feet should have to hit the floor. Both feet have to hit the floor, right? We hear it over and over and over again every single fucking year, every January. So her feet are hanging on the barricade. Naomi's feet are hanging on the barricade. She pulls herself up to the barricade. She tight walks the barricade, jumps to the steel steps, and then gets back into the ring. I don't really understand this shit. And this was not the first time it was done in this match. It wasn't the first time it was done all night, because the men did it, and it was more cringe in the men match than it was in the women. It's not the first time I'm going to complain about this either. Naomi gets back into the ring. So, Mandy tries to steal elimination. Naomi jumps from the barricade to the stairs. Then Mandy yanks her off, because Mandy was eliminated. So there you go. Mandy was outside the ring, eliminated, and she's not in the match anymore. Naomi, on the other hand, is still in the match, whether you like the decision or not. She gets eliminated by someone who's not in the match. I get flashbacks to the 1993 Royal Rumble where The Undertaker is in there cleaning house, and then Harvey Wimpleman comes out with the fucking giant Gonzalez. Guy's 8 feet tall. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. This guy gets into the ring, dwarfs the fucking Undertaker. Few knife-edge chops, and The Undertaker goes over the top rope. He's eliminated by someone who's not even in the fucking company at that point. How is that fair? How is that fair? Just like this, Mandy's eliminated. Naomi's in the ring, or in the match, and she gets eliminated by someone who's not even in the match. How is that a rule in the Royal Rumble, man? It just defies logic. It defies logic. So Naomi and Mandy are no longer in the match anymore. Charlotte eliminates Lacey Evans. See you later, Lady of NXT. I wish she would have lasted at least another 10 minutes longer. So Charlotte at this point has tied the elimination record for female eliminations. Out comes Candice LeRae. Good choice there for NXT talent. Number 17, she goes right to battle Ember Moon. Alicia Fox, cringe as fucking hell, man. Comes out at number 18. Maria, this was just god-awful. Maria and Alicia Fox in the ring. They want to form an alliance, so there's a little mini alliance for a little bit. Maria actually hits a DDT on Kairi Sane, and then all of a sudden Maria turns on Alicia Fox, and they're battling over their wardrobe. Like, I think Alicia Fox had a hat, that fucking stupid gold hat she wears because she's the captain of the women's division. I think she's got women's division and fucking Titus Catering mixed up. So Alicia's got this hat. Maria wanted an alliance. Then she didn't want an alliance. She takes Alicia's hat, starts stomping on the hat. Renee Young is like, oh, that's $1,000 hat or $5,000 hat. Who cares? So she gets eliminated. Takes forever for it to happen. Just looks god-awful. Casey Catanzaro comes out. And she's coming out at number 19. And this was a great choice here, man, Casey. I love Casey. She impressed me in the Mae Young Classic. She's got this superhero feel to her. You know, she's got this little engine that could mentality. Super tiny. And I love the shit that she does in the ring. I really do. Comes out at number 19. I think she's going to be a big deal when she's ready for the main roster. Zelina Vega comes out at number 20. And Zelina Vega came out dressed as Vega from Street Fighter, which was probably the best thing about this entire fucking Women's Royal Rumble. She came out with the Vega mask and the Vega claw. I love it. Absolutely love it. So she goes right for Candice LeRae. It's a take on Almas and Johnny Gargano at TakeOver Philly last January. So for those who are wondering why people are giving these two a reaction, because of NXT. They're, I guess, well, Candice's husband and Vega's client, Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano, are going one-on-one last year at Philadelphia. So this was like a little take on that from last year. I like that. Ruby Riott comes out at number 21. And at this point, the Riott Squad is eliminated. Okay? Both Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan are eliminated. So Ruby Riott comes out with both Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. At no point, this is another thing I'm going to fucking bitch and moan about. At no point were the referees in the back, or the officials in the back, or someone in Gorilla, Vince McMahon, I'm sure, is back there, Triple H, I'm sure, is back there, the authority running these shows is back there. At no point does anybody say, whoa, 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 you were eliminated. Why are you going back to the ring? And then the referees, retard alert number 3 over here, we got the referees just standing around letting the Riott Squad do whatever the fuck they want around ringside. So, Ruby Riott comes out at number 21, and they keep dragging people out of the ring and beating people up on the outside, throwing them back in the ring for Ruby Riott to then throw them over the top rope. How is this allowed? Why is this allowed in the Royal Rumble? I don't know. Riott Squad powerbomb LeRae into the barricade. Riott throws her out. Dana Brooke comes out at number 22. She is a victim of the Riot Squad. They get her as soon as she gets to the ring. Ruby eliminates Kairi Sane. Io Shirai comes out. So you got the Riot Squad and Kairi Sane on the outside. They're beating up Kairi Sane on the outside. Io comes in, runs down the aisle. Doesn't even get in the ring. She goes right to the top rope, does a beautiful acai moonsault on everybody, takes out the entire Riot Squad, and Ruby gets back in the ring. And Io and Ruby go at it. Zelina, this is just cringe. Selena Vega wants nothing to do with this Royal Rumble, so she goes underneath the ring. So, let's make mention of the Jerry, we made mention of the Jerry the King Lawler spot, right? Here we go, WWE digging back into their old bag of tricks. Is it necessary? Really? Can we have one Royal Rumble where someone doesn't hide underneath the ring? Give me a fucking break. Seriously, it's 2019. Can we get over the fucking hijinks? It just waters down and makes the Rumble look fucking like a fucking circus. I don't get it. So, the refs at this point, I don't know what the fuck's going on. They're trying to get order with the Riot Squad already out there. Zelina Vega peeks her head out so much, and there's two referees arguing with one another over the fucking Riot Squad. No one has the sense to see Zelina Vega underneath the ring. They just allow it. They just allow it. Retard alert number 4. So, here's another retard alert number 5. This has got to, WWE, if you're listening to me, you gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Casey Catanzaro. Eliminated. Goes over the top. Her back is touching the floor. But her feet are in the air. So what she does is she rolls through on the barricade. Right? She rolls through on the barricade. Does a handstand. Starts walking on her hands to the turnpost. And she climbs up the turnpost like a fucking spider monkey. Right? Like Spider-Man. And brings herself back into the fucking ring only to get eliminated. I don't understand. She was eliminated when her back hit the fucking floor. Now, I love Casey. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, but Jesus fucking Christ. How many times do you got to do these mock eliminations? You went over the top. Your back is on the floor. You're eliminated. If your back is on the floor, then your feet, by logic, should be on the floor. WWE's got to find a way to embarrass the rules of the Royal Rumble, man. What a fucking disgrace. This is why the Rumble has been booked like fucking shit. Been booked like shit for the last decade. Because of these fucking hijinks, man. What a, just god-awful. Absolutely god-awful. She got eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was number 24. Tosses her via suplex. Okay. What was the whole point of the fucking, the acrobatic show then? Only to be eliminated. At least have her last another fucking 10 minutes. Sonya Deville comes out at number 25. Knees Dana Brooke. Rhea then eliminates Dana. Goodbye. Back to fucking catering. Remember Zelina Vega underneath the ring? Yeah, Hornswoggle's underneath the ring. He is chasing Zelina around ringside. She gets back into the ring, runs into Rhea, and gets eliminated. And Hornswoggle runs and chases her up the aisleway. There you go. Hornswoggle is the, this is the only Hornswoggle sighting that we've seen. Thank God. I'm glad he wasn't one of the men's participants. That would have been just fucking ridiculous. Alexa Bliss comes out at number 26, eliminated Sonya Deville. Bayley comes out at number 27. She eliminates Rhea Ripley and Ruby Riott. Rhea Ripley, she should have been in there a lot longer, really. You know, I wish these NXT and NXT UK talents got a little bit more time to shine. It's like they were there, they were used, but they weren't given enough time to do anything, really. Now, I appreciate WWE using the talent that they're building up instead of dipping back into the Legends cookie jar. No Nikki Bella, no Brie Bella, no Trish Stratus, no Lita, right? No Candice Michelle, Lay Cool, you know? Molly Holly, all these other women, right? I'm glad that they didn't go that route. I appreciate that much. But Jesus fucking Christ, man, this Royal Rumble looks like a complete disaster up until the last 15 minutes. Bayley eliminates Rhea and Ruby Riott. Lana, number 28, is out next, but she's limping from the effects of the Rusev match. She's got a bad ankle. So she doesn't make the ring. She stops not even a fourth of the way down the aisleway. Out comes number 29, Nia Jax. Nia Jax, the bully that she is. She sees Lana being attended to by the officials with her ankle. She beats up Lana. Throws Lana into the barricade. Attacks the knee and attacks the ankle some more. So Nia Jax is laughing, and she gets to the ring. Io Shirai's moonsault attempt is caught by Nia, eliminated Io Shirai. Natalya is next, gets eliminated by Nia. Natalya lasted about 55 minutes. Really didn't want her to be the Iron Woman. I would have preferred Ruby Riott or an Ember Moon in that spot, but, you know, Natalya's the Iron Woman of the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble. Carmella comes out at number 30. Who cares? Becky Lynch then all of a sudden shows herself in the aisleway, pleads with the officials. You got Fit Finlay out there. Fit Finlay is arguing with Becky Lynch that she can't be in the Royal Rumble. She's pleading. Crybaby Lynch now, right? After she lost clean to Asuka in the opening of the Royal Rumble. So she's pleading with Finlay, and Finlay says, go ahead. Go ahead. Do what you want to do. Becky Lynch is in the Royal Rumble. So Nia Jax is waiting for Becky Lynch in the ring. Face to face with the woman who broke her face. They go at it. Then Charlotte comes in and they're all fighting. Ember Moon and Alexa brawl on the apron. Alexa strikes. You know, she's striking Ember Moon and she just looks terrible. Alexa Bliss is just an awful wrestler. I'm sorry. I'll say it every fucking time. There's nothing special about Alexa Bliss. The one thing I noticed about Alexa Bliss, she's got piercings on her back. She got nice piercings on her back. That's the only thing I was looking for during the entire match. I wasn't looking for her wrestling ability. I wasn't looking for Alexa to win this match. I didn't want Alexa to win this match or come anywhere close to winning the match. She got piercings on her back. Must be new. I didn't notice them before. So, Ember and Alexa are brawling on the apron. Finally, Alexa eliminates Ember Moon with an STO on the apron. Now we got all women's champions in the final six. We got Carmella and Bayley, who apparently are best friends in real life. I believe they live together as well. And that was documented on the Breaking Ground show, if you guys remember that, on the WWE Network. They both eliminate Alexa Bliss. Goodbye. Charlotte prevents Nia from hitting Becky with another right hand. And Charlotte goes to the top rope. In the Royal Rumble, I don't know why anyone's going to the top rope. Charlotte with elimination number 6, Carmella. So Carmella drew number 30. She won all that for nothing. Goodbye. Eliminated in minutes. Bayley is pissed about Carmella being eliminated because of their friendship. She tries to get Charlotte back. Nia has Bayley on her shoulders. Charlotte dropkicks Nia, sending Bayley out. Becky then eliminates Nia from the outside. Apparently, Becky Lynch was on the outside from whatever Nia had done to her earlier. So Becky was on the outside. Nia was on the apron, and Becky pulls Nia off the ring apron and eliminates Nia Jax. Now, Becky was still in the match. She was not eliminated, so Becky could do whatever the fuck she wants. She got thrown out of the ring, but she's still an active competitor in the ring, in the Rumble. So for her to yank Nia off the apron is fine, because she's in the match. So clearly this angered Nia, and Nia is now attacking Becky on the outside. She attacks Becky after the elimination. Becky is now injured. They did this whole injury angle. So the leg is hurt. Nia attacks the leg. And we take about 5 minutes for the officials to come down and check on Becky. Becky, who a lot of people now, I'm pretty sure Charlotte was thinking the same thing, shouldn't even be here. She got a free buy into the Royal Rumble just to fill the fucking spot for 30 women. Referees are saying, no, 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 no. Becky's lobbying, yes, I could go. She's hobbling on one leg. All this momentum killed. I didn't like it. Becky's story was enough. Becky's story in the Royal Rumble was enough. The fact that she lost, and the fact that she's there, and the fact that she wants nothing but Ronda Rousey is enough for anybody. We didn't need this sentimental, fucking sappy bullshit. I don't get it. Why do so much when it's not needed? Becky winning the Royal Rumble in regular fashion just by showing up would have been more than enough. No, you got to make everything so dramatic with a leg injury. So she's in the ring with Charlotte. She's hobbling on one leg. I can go, come on. Charlotte goes right for the leg with a chop block. Becky's fighting off, goes off on Charlotte. Charlotte goes after the leg and attacks it. Becky then eliminates Charlotte and a clean win in the Royal Rumble, pointing at the WrestleMania logo because it's pointing season. Becky wins the Royal Rumble. You didn't need all that to happen. And WWE, I honestly feel if they put this on in the main event and gave Becky the Royal Rumble win clean with no fucking injury angle, would have been the best way for this show to go off the air. And I honestly feel the interaction with Nia Jax was very lackluster. The way that WWE presented Becky and Nia after making such a huge deal out of it, it felt like it was fucking nothing. It felt like it was flat. And I don't understand why they half-assed the altercation between Becky and Nia Jax. What a shit way for Nia to get eliminated. Do you know the visual compared to what we all thought was going to happen? Nia should have went flying over the fucking top rope by Becky Lynch. Her lesson should have been given to her there. Now, they didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't like that whatsoever. The whole moment just fell flat. But I guess I can't complain too much. We got Becky winning the Royal Rumble. This was the right outcome. But we had to wait over an hour to see it. This Rumble did not matter until the last 6 or 7 entries. Said it on social media, said it on Twitter when it was happening. It did not matter until the last 15 fucking minutes. We wasted an hour of the Royal Rumble with cheesy spots, eliminations that turned into saviors. You know, Casey and Naomi and Selena Vega underneath the bottom of the ring. All this circus-like bullshit, all for Becky to win the Royal Rumble. I guess when you look back at it, Becky winning the Royal Rumble is probably going to erase everything that happened there, but we got the outcome we wanted. The fact that WWE is giving us what we want for now, I guess has to be commended. And you got to appreciate it. But man, they made us sweat. The altercation with Nia was just, it fell flat. And the injury angle honestly killed all of Becky's momentum. She was there. It got the crowd quiet. You didn't need to overdo it. They were happy to see Becky. People were chanting for Becky as soon as Lana came out. As soon as they knew Lana was hurt, they were chanting for Becky. You didn't need to overdo it. It's like WWE's got to add when sometimes the simplest method is the best. Please. I can't complain too much, but the execution of what they do, even though it results in the result that we want, it just, you look back at it, it's like, was any of it necessary? Really? Was any of it necessary? Becky Lynch wins the Royal Rumble. The right decision? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm going to sit here and tell you again, I don't know if Becky Lynch tapping out to Asuka was the best method. I really don't. For the reasons that I cited already. Think about it. She did win the Royal Rumble, but now she looks like a crybaby. Charlotte has every reason, and I'm assuming this is how they're going to get Charlotte in the triple threat match if this is the direction they want to go. Charlotte is going to lobby. This is how I do it. Charlotte's going to lobby to WWE management that Finn Finlay can't be making decisions like that. Who the fuck is Finn Finlay? He can't be making executive decisions like that. I guarantee you that's the reason WWE goes with on Tuesday night. That's the reason that they start Charlotte in this, oh, I've been treated unfairly bullshit. You know? And man, when it came down to Becky and Charlotte in the closing minutes of that Royal Rumble, where Becky had her leg attacked by Charlotte and Charlotte was so hungry to eliminate Becky, this is my Rumble. Man, if WWE did the wrong thing and gave Charlotte the Royal Rumble, man, that would have been a heel turn that they did not want. There was no one in that crowd wanting Charlotte to win that Royal Rumble. No one. When Charlotte attacked that knee, the amount of boos that were being rained down on Charlotte was something that I don't think WWE could ever recover from if they made that bad decision. They made the right decision. Becky Lynch wins the Royal Rumble. The first hour was fucking terrible. And the story of the last 6, 7, 8 remaining entrants was all that you really needed to see here. I would not go back and watch this Royal Rumble at all. I would honestly start from the hour, after the first hour all the way up until the end, the last 15 minutes. That was pretty much it. WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan retains the WWE Championship in a 25-minute match. This was not better than their match at TLC, and I honestly don't think it was their fault. Because with Becky Lynch, this is the same thing that happened with Ricochet and Johnny Gargano at Takeover Phoenix. Everything that followed that, even Ciampa and Black, no matter how great that match was, I love that match. No matter how great that match was, even Shayna and Bianca Belair had their match ruined because of how great Johnny and Ricochet was. The Royal Rumble and Becky Lynch winning the Royal Rumble and everything else that came before it was great so far. Becky winning was the cherry on top of the cake. Everybody fucking exploded when Becky Lynch won that Royal Rumble. That moment took everyone out of the match. Everyone. Seth Rollins didn't even get that type of reaction when he won the Royal Rumble later on in the night for the men. That's why I honestly said, if the men's Royal Rumble was placed in the position of the women's Royal Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble closed, I honestly think that the Daniel Bryan-AJ Styles match would have been better off for it. But the fact that we got Becky Lynch winning the Royal Rumble, something that everybody wanted and anticipated, it ruined what could have been a great match. The crowd was so out of it that I'm genuinely going to be honest with you, I was bored to tears with this match. Even though I paid attention and I took notes, it was fucking boring. Because the crowd was dead. You could hear a fucking pin drop at Chase Field. I'm going to fast forward right to the end here, man. Daniel Bryan wins. There was really nothing out of the ordinary here that we didn't see in their match at TLC. Now, it all started when Styles gets kicked on a phenomenal forearm attempt. Fires off with a Pele kick. So he comes back with a Pele kick after the phenomenal forearm missed. Eric Rowan comes out, and we start seeing him walk down the ring. I didn't know. Nobody knew what the fuck he was doing there. He was wearing jeans, he was wearing a fucking band t-shirt, and he was wearing flannel. Eric Rowan comes out. Bryan goes for an enziguri, and instead of hitting Styles, he hits the referee. Referee's down. Styles Clash is nailed on Daniel Bryan, but Eric Rowan at ringside decides to get on in the ring. He picks AJ Styles up by the face and slams Styles on the mat. Daniel Bryan wins in a good match that was ruined by what happened in the Royal Rumble with Becky and the excitement of Becky Lynch. Good match, but it's one of those things that it ruined everything that followed it. And in this case, it was the WWE Championship match with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan stand tall, toe-to-toe, face-to-face in the middle of the ring. Eric Rowan raises Daniel Bryan's hand. No one predicted this to happen. Now, I am upset that I actually went with AJ Styles on my Wrestle Rumble picks when I had said Daniel Bryan in my review, my preview and predictions video. But I honestly thought that AJ Styles was going to win this match. And nobody factored in Eric Rowan. Now, Eric Rowan is back. So that means Luke Harper is soon to follow. What I hope this means is that the Bludgeon Brothers are dead. The Bludgeon Brothers are no more. And with Rowan and then Harper, hopefully soon to follow, we have Daniel Bryan leading a new stable. Daniel Bryan's going to be leading a new stable. I hope that this means that Bray Wyatt is going to be included in this picture. There's one person that has ties with the Wyatt family. It's Daniel Bryan. And now that Daniel Bryan is almost as if he's a Bray Wyatt-like character trying to open up the people to the reality of what is really going on, I could see Daniel Bryan leading a new faction with Rowan, Harper, and Bray Wyatt. I think that would be fucking fantastic. And this is a brilliant move. I absolutely think this is fantastic. Because not only do you get Eric Rowan and Luke Harper back on television, the Bludgeon Brothers were, I wouldn't say they were god-awful, but they were bland, they were boring, and they didn't really elicit a reaction from the crowd. They had no charisma. There was nothing about the Bludgeon Brothers that made you say, wow, right? They were on their own. They were just two big guys who destroyed shit. How many of those guys that we have on WWE television? Really? How many of those characters do we have on WWE television? Too many. So, With the Bludgeon Brothers no more, and we get Harper and Rowan in a more humanized state, with them being paired with Daniel Bryan, it's going to make them much more better off in the end. A stable led by a guy like Daniel Bryan is going to bleed onto those other guys who are around him. Daniel Bryan is going to make those guys that much better. Daniel Bryan's going to make those guys that much more must-see because of who they're associated with. When you get a stable, you got to get a guy like Daniel Bryan. That's why when CM Punk had the Straight Edge Society, a guy like that is going to make everybody around him better. I love it. And if we're talking tag team focus in the WWE moving forward in 2019, Bryan going to make those two guys well-known entities on SmackDown Live. Who's to say that they're not going to be a dominating tag team again with the leadership of Daniel Bryan on SmackDown Live? I love it. I think this is a great idea. I don't know what they're going to be called or what their vision is with this, but I'm hoping we see not only Harper, but Wyatt as well. This would be great for SmackDown Live. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, we go from that to the Universal Championship match. The fans started to come alive for this Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor match. Brock Lesnar beat Finn Balor as if anybody expected anything else to happen. Defeated Finn Balor in 8 minutes and 37 seconds. This was, for what it was, I am telling you right now, this was absolutely fucking fantastic. I was absolutely disappointed that this match didn't go another 5 minutes. But after looking at the length of the event, I honestly think we've had enough. So looking back on it, maybe it wasn't great that we got another 5 minutes. Or it was great that we didn't get another 5 minutes, rather. Brock Lesnar defeated Finn Balor in 8 minutes and 37 seconds, man. This was perfectly booked. This was beautifully executed on everyone's behalf. Lesnar and Balor. Now, the one thing I want to make mention of is every time Finn Balor got some offense in on Brock Lesnar and it started to look a little bit more believable that he might be doing it, Renee Young constantly said, "Oh my God, we're going to see a new WWE Universal Champion." And the more times that WWE says that and has the announcers say that, the more it's not going to happen. Who honestly in this crowd believes that Brock Lesnar is going to lose to Finn Balor? Now, I wouldn't mind it, but it's not going to happen. Now, Michael Cole is saying Brock Lesnar is the most dangerous man in WWE history. You know, all the typical gibberish, right? Balor comes at Brock right away with a missile drop kick, stomps in the corner. He looked absolutely ferocious when the bell rung. Brock had his back turned because it's Brock Lesnar. Stomps him repeatedly, and Brock stops him dead in his tracks with a belly-to-belly suplex, pretty much throwing him almost out of the fucking ring, across the ring. Balor attacking. The main focus of this match was Balor shoved Brock Lesnar into the very edge of the announce table, the American announce table. So that's where Brock Lesnar, I heard people on social media saying, "Oh, look, Finn Balor's attacking Brock Lesnar's gut or stomach area. That's where he had the diverticulitis." This was a great move. Playing off something that physically almost killed Brock Lesnar and is his vice. It's his fucking weakness. And they exploited that in this match with Finn Balor. Man, this is why I love the smaller versus the larger guy dynamic. And I love Brock Lesnar to a point where, you know, he makes all these smaller guys look so much believable. He loves working with the smaller guys. I could see why. Because they make him better, and he makes them look fucking great. And the one thing I mentioned on social media, man, Lesnar's selling is fucking magnificent. His selling is absolutely grade A top notch. He made Balor look like a fucking absolute superstar. And Balor is a superstar. He made Finn Balor look like $10 million tonight. Or last night, rather. Absolutely great sell job by Brock Lesnar. So, Balor shoves Lesnar into the edge of the table. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So, Lesnar is trying to battle this off. He's holding his midsection. He's trying to suplex Balor. Suplexes Balor, clotheslines Balor at one point. You see the fucking sweat physically just jump off his chest. Still selling the stomach shot. Brilliant stuff by Brock Lesnar. Balor counters an F5 with a DDT and stomps Lesnar right in the gut. Not the coup de grace, but a double stomp. Beautifully executed by Finn Balor. Lesnar then bails Balor out. Balor went for a top rope cone helo. Over the top rope cone helo. And Lesnar, it looked like, I watched it back. I watched it back, and Lesnar almost, it's as if he thrusted his shoulder up to save Balor from either overshooting it or completely missing him altogether. It's like Lesnar shot his shoulder up to save Balor from killing himself on this fucking cone helo over the top rope. He hit three of them. And I think the first two almost missed. The third one he got. Coup de grace. Off the top. Lesnar kicks out at 2. And this was great. Lesnar, yeah, you know, some people are complaining, oh, he sold the coup de grace. Hits the coup de grace, right? And Lesnar kicks out. He bounces Balor up out of the pin combination, goes right for Kimura. That's it. The Kimura lock tapped in, 1, 2, 3. I have no problem with that ending. Because there's no way you're going to sell me on a guy like Balor escaping a Kimura lock that is locked in by Brock Lesnar. There's no way. There's no way you could have made that believe. There's no way you're going to make me believe that Balor's going to get to the ropes. There's no way that you're going to make me believe that Finn Balor's strong enough to fucking muscle out of a fucking Kimura lock on Brock Lesnar. No way. No way. This was a great match. I wanted it to go a little bit longer. I was more invested in this match than I was the Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match. I was more invested in this than anything else on the show up until this point. This was great. This was great. The post-match attack left me wondering, though. It honestly left. Why did the post-match attack happen? Daniel Bryan wasn't attacked after the Survivor Series. Balor was attacked by Brock Lesnar after this match. F5s and suplexes. There's got to be a reason for the attack on Finn Balor. Got to be. And I'll talk about that in a second. This was a great match, though. Fantastic match. Lesnar and Balor exceeded everybody's expectations. They made Balor look like a megastar. Brock Lesnar, man, you got to give him credit where credit is deserved. The guy selling is on point. I love the babyface heel dynamic, but the big guy, small guy, that David versus Goliath dynamic, man, with Lesnar, I could watch that every single fucking title defense for Brock Lesnar. These are the types of guys that Lesnar needs to be in the ring with. You put him in the ring with a Braun Strowman or a Big Show or guys like that, it does absolutely fucking nothing for me. This was Brock Lesnar at his absolute best right here. Matches like Balor, Styles, Bryan, Punk. Every single match that we've seen with Lesnar against guys that way have been match of the year candidates. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was a match of the year candidate, but for what they did in 8 minutes, man, I was absolutely pleased. You got no issue from me. The only issue I could really find with this is that I wanted it to go more than fucking 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Really, I was that invested in this shit, man. But good shit on both guys. Very interesting to see what Finn Balor says about the attack after the title match at the Royal Rumble. Men's Royal Rumble, man. The Men's Royal Rumble. Jesus Christ, at this point, man, I couldn't wait for this show to be over. Elias draws number 1. Gets a huge reaction. Jeff Jarrett. J-E-F-F. J-A-R-R-E-T-T. Jeff Jarrett comes out at number 2. He's wearing his old school Double J gear. And I mean old school when he had fucking Road Dogg as the roadie. He looked terrible in that. He looked super old in his old getup. I'd never want to see it again. And I'm questioning here, this guy's number 2. This is a wasted Royal Rumble spot right at the beginning of this Royal Rumble. Really? Really? And, you know, they were honestly testing people's patience at this point. People couldn't wait for the show to be over, and they're dragging this Elias-Jeff Jarrett duet. I'm like, fucking Christ, let's get the goddamn Rumble on the way already. Then we're going to do a duet. Elias punches Jarrett, hits him with the guitar, elimination, goodbye. That's all it was. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out at number 3. And Shinsuke Nakamura, I mentioned it before, he won the Royal Rumble last year, and I don't even think he lasted fucking 15 minutes in this Rumble. It's just disgusting. Comes out at number 3. Kurt Angle comes out at number 4. I'm done seeing Kurt Angle. I mean, go away already, really? Another wasted spot. We got Jarrett at 2 and Angle at number 4. It's amazing. And then you think back, Angle is married to Jarrett's ex-wife. It's fucking ridiculous. Or something. What, was Jarrett married to Angle's ex-wife? Right? Karen Jarrett? It's just, who cares? I'm tired of seeing Kurt. He's so out of shape. It's like, oh, and then the announcers are like, oh, imagine if Kurt Angle wins the Royal Rumble. What a comeback story this would be. Nah, I'm sorry. Nobody's interested in that. Big E comes out at number 5. Nakamura sends Angle packing with an elimination. Johnny Gargano comes in. I marked out Johnny Wrestling at number 6. He comes out, gets a huge pop. Johnny Wrestling chance, NXT chance. A nice precursor to what is to come for Johnny Gargano on the main roster. It's going to be a fucking huge star on the main roster, man. The guy is so easy to book. And it made me fucking thrilled. I knew Johnny wasn't going to win. I knew Johnny wasn't going to last about 30, 40 minutes like I wanted him to. I wish, but he had a battle with Ricochet. I didn't expect him to be in there too long. But he did eliminate Jinder Mahal. It comes out at number 7. Jinder was eliminated quickly by Johnny Wrestling. Made my night. That's all I care. Yeah, did you know Jinder Mahal is a former WWE champion? There you go. So Samoa Joe comes out at number 8. And everyone's trying to take out Nakamura at this point. He eliminates Big E, does Samoa Joe. Kurt Hawkins comes out at number 9. He hits Samoa Joe, leaves the ring, and he gets put to sleep by Joe and then hides under the ring. Another one of these hiding under the ring moments here at the Royal Rumble. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Seth Rollins comes out at number 10. Eliminates Elias, who's holding on to the ring post by just his fingernails, and Seth Rollins collapsed the ring post, and Elias goes down. So Elias was number 1. He lasts till number 10, and it's a shame that Elias is really getting no love from WWE right now, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with him. I really don't. He's nothing but a novelty. Like I said on Monday Night Raw review, he's nothing but a novelty act. He does nothing for anybody. He's just there. He shows up with his guitar, and that's all he is. He'll never amount to anything. And what is with him walking the tightrope like The Undertaker? He does he's walked the tightrope and then does a huge arm drag off the top rope like he's walking old school. Come on. Be a little bit more creative, really. Titus O'Neil, number 11. He gets a huge pop because of his botch at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He stops. He runs down the aisle. Stops because he doesn't want to slip and slide again. Kurt Hawkins, he sees Kurt Hawkins underneath the ring, peek out from underneath the ring. He goes underneath the ring and he gets eliminated by Samoa Joe eventually because I guess Titus chased him from underneath the ring. He gets back into the ring. He meets Samoa Joe, and then Samoa Joe handles Hawkins as he should. Kofi Kingston, number 12, is next, and he has to follow 3 Kofi spots in the Women's Royal Rumble match. So we had, who do we have? Selena, we had Naomi, and we had Casey, right? Ridiculous. So all that, and now Kofi has to come up with something new and different for his, elimination, quote unquote. So Mustafa Ali comes out number 13. He goes right after Samoa Joe and Nakamura. He taunts Nakamura. I expect that to be a match down the line for the U.S. title if WWE's smart. Mustafa Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Ali eliminates Nakamura. There you go. Back in the old school, we would have a feud start with an elimination in the Royal Rumble. Back in the day when someone eliminated another guy, a feud would start. I'd like to see that with Ali and Nakamura. I think that would be great. Ali eliminates Nakamura with a dropkick and a tornado DDT on Gargano before Joe gets him with a huge suplex. Dean Ambrose comes out at number 14. He tosses out Johnny Gargano. I didn't like this. I really didn't know. I'm a Johnny Gargano mark. He comes out at number 6, but he got eliminated by number 14, Dean Ambrose. Johnny should have lasted a little bit longer, but I understand why. But the reaction that Johnny Gargano got in the Rumble really made me happy, man. It's a good precursor to what's to come for him. Dean Ambrose is dead. He came out to fucking crickets, man. The guy's just garbage. Dean Ambrose does nothing for me. But we get Kofi. Kofi is, I guess, wait, Kofi's elimination did not come yet. I'm sorry. I got my notes mixed up here. So Ambrose is number 14. No Way Jose, number 15. He gets eliminated in record time by Samoa Joe. Comes down with the conga line, right? Gets in the ring. Joe throws him out in like 2 seconds. He looks at the conga line guys that are still there. He dances up the aisle back with the conga line. Drew McIntyre comes out at number 16, and he beats all the conga line up, and he takes care of No Way Jose. So, thank you for coming to Phoenix, No Way Jose. We don't give a shit about you. Imagine being No Way Jose, waking up and reading what you're about to do at the Royal Rumble. Why even bother coming to work? McIntyre, number 16, beats everybody's ass in the conga line. He goes into the ring. Claymore to Rollins and Ambrose and Joe. It was nice to see, by the way, speaking of Gargano, it was nice to see Gargano and Rollins mix up. Take my fucking money. It was nice to see Gargano and Ali, Gargano and Nakamura, Gargano and Samoa Joe, Gargano and a fucking mannequin in Victoria's Secret. It doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. It's nice to see Drew McIntyre and Samoa Joe go face-to-face as well, man. That's a beast of a matchup right there. 3 Claymores. Xavier Woods comes out. At this point, everybody was just dead tired of the fucking mock eliminations. Xavier Woods comes out, and Kofi is literally riding Xavier Woods' back like a donkey. And he saved him from being elimination. Kofi and Xavier do this. Drew McIntyre eliminates him. Good. Goodbye. Pete Dunne out at number 18. Goes right after Drew McIntyre. So that was nice to see. Drew and Pete Dunne going at it. Andrade, number 19. And he gets Pete Dunne. And I believe Dunne gets him with a DDT. Apollo Crews, number 20. They mentioned the Fresh Start Battle Royal and him eliminating 8 guys. Who fucking cares? Aleister Black comes in at number 21. I'm happy to see Aleister Black. I predicted that off the script on Friday. Aleister Black comes in at number 21. At this point, I was like, man, Aleister Black, number 21, such a late number. I would love to see him win the Royal Rumble. Huge NXT chance. He hits a big moonsault, catches Ali upside down with a knee. Black Mass eliminated Ambrose. Man, is Ambrose done. Absolutely done. The fact that they booked Aleister Black to hit Dean Ambrose with a Black Mass and eliminate him, it's got to be good for Aleister Black's chances on the main roster, man. So, Shelton Benjamin comes out at number 22. He's wearing new ring gear. He looked fucking fantastic, man. Black and gold. He looked great. Did Shelton Benjamin. Mustafa Ali eliminates Samoa Joe. Joe is absolutely fucking living on the outside. Baron Corbin, number 23, who immediately hits a deep 6 on Rollins and a deep 6 on Mustafa Ali. He eliminates Apollo. Jeff Hardy, number 24. Apparently he has hurt ribs. He does a whisper in the wind on literally everybody that's in the ring. Aleister Black has his fingers snapped by Pete Dunne, and in typical Aleister Black fashion, the beast that he is, he snaps his big fingers back in place. Corbin eliminates Black. So Black came in at number 21, and he was already eliminated by Baron Corbin. That's what you bring Aleister Black into the Royal Rumble for him to be eliminated by Baron Corbin? This is why I hate the fucking Royal Rumble, man. There's no respect for these NXT guys. Really? You got Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black in the fucking Royal Rumble, and you're not going to do anything to make them look good. Comes in, does a moonsault. There you go. Eliminates Dean Ambrose. There you go. Ridiculous, man. Rey Mysterio comes out at number 25. Lashley comes out at number 26. And he's practically eliminated in seconds. Good for him. He's fucking garbage. Rollins eliminated him. Lashley is a crybaby on the outside. Grabs Rollins, pulls Rollins outside, puts him through the announce table. So there you go. Now, at this point, Rollins is put through the announce table. I wonder who's going to win the Royal Rumble. So, Braun Strowman is out at number 27, and at this point, I'm getting nervous. Apparently, WrestleVotes was stating that there's going to be a big surprise. I'm like, watch Roman Reigns come out at number fucking 30. Braun Strowman's number 27, throws out Corbin, Shelton Benjamin, and Jeff Hardy. So Dolph Ziggler comes in at number 28. You're wasting a spot in the Royal Rumble on someone who's not even going to be a factor in this company in about 2 months. I hate it. Dolph Ziggler, number 28. He eliminates Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was not a part of the Final Four. They set up Dolph Ziggler's exit by Drew McIntyre beating the shit out of him in a steel cage, and Dolph Ziggler comes here into the Royal Rumble and eliminates Drew McIntyre from what he wants in the Universal Championship. Does that make any fucking sense to you? Why revisit something when it was clearly over and done with on January 1st? I don't understand this company. I really don't. Randy Orton comes out at number 29, goes for an RKO and gets power slammed by Strowman. Strowman, Andrade, Ray, and Ali do this huge stacked superplex. Looked like it was a suplex cross-body combination. So, R-Truth comes out at number 30. He does his deal. He starts singing in the aisleway. Who's going to come out? I knew for a fact R-Truth wasn't going to be number 30 because who the fuck wants to see R-Truth in the Royal Rumble mixed up with these guys? Nobody expects him to win. So WWE books this to have R-Truth not enter the Royal Rumble and is replaced by not Kenny Omega, not a Roman Reigns, not even a Big Show. Nia Jax. Nia Jax takes the number 30 spot in the Men's Royal Rumble. She goes on to then eliminate Mustafa Ali. Let me repeat that. She goes on to eliminate Mustafa Ali. Now, at this point, I thought I was honestly living in a alternate reality. I was living in an alternate universe. I wasn't sure. I had an out-of-body experience for all the bad reasons. I'm like, did hell freeze over? Are we living in hell on earth right now? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who made this decision? Number one. Number two, don't cite me, your Chinas, or your Beth Phoenixes. This is not that. Nia Jax doesn't even come close to what those women embody. I'm sorry. Nia Jax in the Men's Royal Rumble at number 30 was an absolute fucking joke. It was an embarrassment. She eliminated Mustafa Ali, and I want to let you guys know, Nia Jax had a more impactful Royal Rumble than Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, and Pete Dunne combined in 2019 in the Men's Rumble. Are you happy with that? I'm not. This was one of the most... This was on level of Nikki and Braun Strowman winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Nicholas and Braun Strowman winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania. This was fucking horrendous. Nia Jax eliminates Mustafa Ali. Randy Orton goes for an RKO. She should wrestle the fucking men. She looked better wrestling the men, honestly, I'll tell you. She looked better wrestling the men than she did the women. They were allowing her to be fucking physical with them. That's the only part of this I like, but it was the wrong fucking situation. So, Orton goes for an RKO on her and gets shoulder blocked. Ray hits a 619 on Nia. Randy RKOs her. Nia ain't taking the hammerlock DDT from Almas. Ray dropkicks Nia off the apron to eliminate her. I think Dolph Ziggler actually delivered a super kick to Nia Jax, too, which was probably even better than the fucking RKO. Man, I don't understand that. I truly, the only thing I could really say is this had to be Nia's punishment for Becky Lynch. We got what we want with Becky Lynch. We didn't get Becky really getting any sort of revenge on Nia in the Royal Rumble. This had to be some sort of punishment for Nia Jax for what she did for Becky Lynch. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. So, Ziggler is in a Final Four. Ziggler, Andrade, Rollins, and Braun Strowman, who I'm going to be honest with you, I forgot was even in the fucking Royal Rumble at this point. I honestly forgot all about Braun. Then when I realized he was there, I'm like, oh no. Braun Strowman's going to win the Royal Rumble. Everyone teams up on Braun, does their signature moves. Strowman eliminates Andrade, just out of nowhere. You know? I was enjoying the go-between, or the back and forth between Ziggler and Andrade, man. It was fucking physical. I love that back and forth between Ziggler and Andrade. Strowman eliminates Andrade, and Rollins tosses out Ziggler. It's down to Rollins and Braun Strowman as the final two. Rollins has Strowman on the apron, gets chokeslammed into the ring. They go through the whole Benoit Big Show spot, but Rollins ends up getting the win with a curb stomp on the apron, and Braun Strowman falls to the outside. Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble for 2019. Man, these Royal Rumbles got to get better, man. I truly don't understand the WWE with these Royal Rumbles. I really don't. Anyway, before I get out of here, I want to make one observation here. I really do. I mentioned the Brock Lesnar-Finn Balor beatdown at the end of the match. There's got to be a reason why Balor was beat down by Brock Lesnar. Now, a lot of you people brought this to my attention, and it made me wonder as I laid in my bed after the event was over. Could it be? Could it be? Bryan, if you really look at it, Daniel Bryan, if you really look at it, does not have a set opponent for WrestleMania. Yeah, it's been talked about, maybe John Cena, maybe Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement to challenge Daniel Bryan, whatever. Those are not concrete options. Those are fantasy bookings. Those are what-ifs, right? Right now, as of the active men's roster on SmackDown Live, there really is no one, being that he's done away with AJ Styles already, there's really no one on the men's roster that's a babyface that's even possible for a Daniel Bryan opponent and a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. Now, when you look at Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumble, he has mentioned Brock Lesnar several different times. No one outside of Brock Lesnar would make sense for Seth Rollins. If you're going to put Rollins against Lesnar or Bryan, Lesnar makes more sense because of the fact that Rollins never got his revenge on Brock Lesnar. They got a story that could be told there and picked up on. And he made mention of Brock Lesnar in several different promos. He's a fake champion. He's never here. You know, he comes when he wants the money. He comes when it's scheduled right for him or the schedule's easy for him. He doesn't care. Rollins has made mention of this several different times. So anybody outside of Lesnar would not really make sense from what we've heard on WWE TV for Seth Rollins. But what if Rollins chooses Bryan, goes for the WWE Championship, he ends up on SmackDown Live. AJ gets moved to Raw, because what is there for AJ to do on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown Live, rather? And we all know Vince wants him on Monday Night Raw. What if with the beatdown of Balor by Lesnar, maybe we get Finn getting another rematch against Lesnar, but not as the man, but as the demon at WrestleMania? Could be a way of WWE swerving us here. Instead of Rollins going for Lesnar, maybe he goes for Bryan, and Balor, the demon, beats Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess we'll find out tonight. It's going to be a big week for Monday and Tuesday, man. It's going to be a big week. This review went longer than I ever anticipated, man. 2 hours and 16 fucking minutes. Jesus Christ. I am getting the fuck out of here, man. If you enjoyed this Rumble review, give me a thumbs up, please. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'll be back tonight with Monday Night Raw, and we'll go over everything that happens on the fallout of the Royal Rumble, man. Please go and follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Please make sure you guys go check out Off the Script Part 2 to close out the weekend. It was uploaded on Sunday, early Sunday, right before the Royal Rumble. Ronda Rousey calls out Dave Meltzer. The new day, interest in AEW. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, the NXT TakeOver review and results video is live on the channel as well, man. Thank you so very much for everything, man. What a Royal Rumble. Fucking 7 hours. Had its ups, had its downs. The 2 Rumble matches were very lackluster. But Lesnar and Balor. You had the women's matches with Rousey, Banks, Asuka, and Becky Lynch. Becky winning the Royal Rumble. More positive than there was negative. There's always some negative when it comes to these WWE shows. But if I was to give it a thumbs up, it was a thumbs up show. Thumbs up or thumbs down, it was definitely a thumbs up show. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. I'll see you all tonight for Monday Night Raw. Let's hit that thumbs up, man. I'll see you tonight for Raw.